from my feet. I made a middle in the week. Yeah, I bring the pints overseas. I put some lean on my sheets.
I fuck your bitch, call me Pablo. Fucking for Instagram follow. Demon, I try to Diablo. Another of my bitches swallow. Trapping, I'm feeling like Vallo. Chopping, they fill you with hollow.
Bitch, I'm in Europe, sipping on syrup. Thinking about bus on this baller alert. I'll take a credit card order. Wow, bitch, I'm in Portugal off of a bird. Damn, damn, damn. I got your mama on flash. Damn, damn. I'll take your bitch and you can't get her back.
I fuck your bitch, shit free. Nigga, I'm trapping on week. I do a pill and can't eat.
I let a bitch from my feet. I made a middle in the week. Yeah, I bring the pints overseas. I put some lean on my sheets.
I fuck your bitch, shit free. Nigga, I'm trapping on week. I do a pill and can't eat.
I let a bitch from my feet. I made a middle in the week. Yeah, I bring the pints overseas. I put some lean on my sheets.
I'm just waiting for somebody to chat before I get started. It's okay. I can sit here and smoke weed all day. I can sit here and smoke weed in silence all day. I don't need chatter. We don't need to do a show. Fuck that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Leon. I very much appreciate your input there, and it's been interesting to see, having to go through what we all went through here with Obama. Having hope, and seeing it dashed. It's been interesting to hear your perspective through that. Through these trying times. You would think Brexit would be enough to shake people out of their complacency, right? But no dice. We're not going to be talking about the UK today unless we bring up Randy Andy. They call him Randy Andy. Yeah, we're not going to be talking about UK today. Just about Jeffrey. But you have a good shower, Leon. Thank you so much.
With a Sprite, fuck nigga, we don't do fights. Bitch, I be high like a kite. Got a bad bitch on my right. My jealous on my feet. All of you put is sweet. Throw that bitch up on my feet. Be ride my dick like a sheet. Pull up on your block, make a scene. Riding with a Ruger and a beans. Bitch, I'm getting money for my team. Bitch, I'm getting money for the fame. I make some lean with this family. And I be high like a Sonic. Racking up commas. Bitch, I be high like a Sonic. Fuck on that GSC. Wait, look at this shit. Look in the cup. Look in the cup, some of these. Look in the cup, some of these. Look in the cup, some
of these. Trapping in Japan. No, sorry, we got Trapping in Paradise, 111. We are listening to Watermelt Fanta. Moving on to the next track, Diamonds with Sir Yogi. We're about to get started in a second. I'm letting it marinate. Take advantage of the Sprite. All right, that's James 666 with Diamonds with Sir Yogi. What do I have for you today, Swims with Whales? Oh, nightmares. Something that if you walked in on, you would have been traumatized just to see it. I'm hesitant to even describe what happens, I mean, I would say use your imagination, but one thing that I'm discovering in watching all this coverage about Jeffrey Epstein is that most commentators haven't done the research when it comes to perversion. And ironically, I've been doing my homework. Not because I'm a fan of this stuff, right? But because I see it. If you've been following the news, like once you've dug through the surface and once you're in this shit deep, the Epstein stuff comes up all the time. And it's not just Epstein, right? These sex parties, underage, human trafficking. Look at the Saudi royal family. So I've taken it upon myself because I'm writing something quite horrible. It's a nightmare that I've had, and it's kind of ballooned from this nightmare. But the basic scenario is, what if the libertines win? What if they control society? That's kind of the basic gist of what I'm writing. So I've been digging into the works of the Marquis de Sade, for example, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like perfectly understandable that Kyle Kalinske and the guys on CNN and whatnot haven't read 120 Days of Sodom. Okay, they know about it, they've heard of it, but have they actually read it? It's something else to read it. It really is something else to read it. Having read not everything from Sade yet, but having read enough, Jeffrey Epstein makes perfect sense. He was a libertine, and he waxed poetic with these other rich fucks about his libertine philosophy. It's what happens when somebody with Jeffrey's proclivities, his interests, becomes powerful, becomes essential. The other thing that a lot of these commentators aren't truly understanding is the sexual kink of hinting at things. This birthday book is nothing but hinting, right? Nothing overt. Hey, Jeffrey, remember that one time you were, doing this one thing to this one underage girl? Nothing like that. Terrible attempts at poetry and terrible attempts at, what's the word? Simile, maybe? But, trying to be poetic, trying to be clever. Because what do you see in a lot of this birthday book stuff? Thank you for the life-changing experience. Thank you. It's because Jeffrey was he was like that guy from South Park. Just made fun of this show. What was it called? Fantasy Island. He's like that guy from Fantasy Island, except he works exclusively in pedophilic fantasies. So one of these boop, welcome back Snow, welcome back everybody else, Strategy swims with whales. So there's one story going around about Snow White. Some guy, he sent a letter to Jeffrey saying, thank you so much for that. He was actually, this letter was pretty explicit. Hopefully the video that I'm going to show you gets into it. But this letter was pretty explicit about, thank you so much for that Snow White experience. And Jeffrey, I think, it was like maybe a text message or something. And Jeffrey goes, yeah, just let me know, what do you want next? And the guy says, Beauty and the Beast. And once again, people they use their imagination and that scares them. But the reality is what Jeffrey was doing is that he was finding, in some cases, 10-year-old girls to dress up like Disney princesses. But after they've been groomed and after it's been normalized to engage in sexual activity with adults, then he dresses them up those are the kinds of experiences that these men were seeking Jeffrey Epstein out for. They all did it. Alan Dershowitz over here. No, there's no proof. There's no proof. I'll sue you. I'll sue you. I'll sue you. Motherfuckers all over that shit. We've known it from the start. I'll sue you. I'll sue you. Let's sue me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's, in a court of law, dig into all of your Jeffrey Epstein connections, Alan Dershowitz. Please. My wife would kill me. I would get in so much trouble. Okay, could you imagine the conversation with my wife? You started shit with Alan Dershowitz, and now he's suing you for, what is this, $1 billion. Yeah, but, there's a pro bono lawyer that says he wants to flesh out all of Jeffrey Epstein's connections to Alan Dershowitz. Yeah, but what happens if we lose? Well, if we lose, then we're homeless. So, look, I don't mean to make light of, of anything. You know me. This stuff, it doesn't shock me and it doesn't surprise me, right? This is the kind of stuff that you get poo-pooed at when talking to other more normie leftists. Oh, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, whatever. Not that big a deal. Both sides. And it's like, no, yeah, Pizzagate was bullshit. But there's sprinkles of truth in that shit. And that's what we should be afraid of. One of the things I want to explore in my writing is how good people provide cover for pure evil because they simply can't handle knowing that it exists. So, honest to God, good people living their lives. They just block the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world out. It's simply too horrible to even have, to even comprehend in your world. Because you're trying to create your own world. We all do this, right? We create our world. Like, what is the world? What is the world that we live in? And I think good people who mean well, who don't want to do evil, they put intentional blinders on some of these things that are really happening. And what does that do? It provides cover. It provides cover for those who are the most evil. The definition, those who have created an entire philosophy around their evil to justify it as natural and normal and good. You should hear the works of Sod. He spits on the entire concept of virtue. It's fascinating. And in his universe, you're rewarded for throwing virtue in the gutter. So I found this video. I was like, well, I had a bunch of shit, right? I had a bunch of shit lined up. Dick ridership. Fucking awesome. Fucking amazing. Dick ridership. That was from somebody in the chat. I don't remember who. I support lower taxes on the wealthy. It goes far deeper than that, but we know. I really feel bad for people who are legitimately named Jeffrey. Pikes Peak from Colorado to Nebraska. I don't know. Whatever, man. I mean, like, we seriously need... Somebody needs to start the conversation of, I'm going to undo every single thing that this man has done. You know what I mean? Like, we need to start, where's the rhetoric from our politicians about we're doing everything. We're undoing everything. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to catalog every single thing that he fucked up. And then the next day we're going to start reversing it as quickly as possible. I'm voting Epstein. You know what sucks? A very close personal friend of mine, his last name is Epstein. And you know, we make fun of Jeffrey, but it's you know, I've never of course pointed that out. That's just, it's too mean. It's got to hurt, man. It'd be like it's like being, you know, named Jeffrey Dahmer, but like, no, not that one. Yeah, no, it's a family name. No, we're not related. It's a common name in Czechoslovakia, wherever the fuck Dahmers are from. Okay. It's a really common name over there. Sorry, my mother named me before the crimes happened. Then blame it on brown people. Well, that seems to be the MO for the last couple hundred years. Anyway, so like back to the subject here. Jeffrey. Oh, Jeffrey. Oh, look at that. We got him on the screen anyway. Look at that. I forgot he's up there. Real quick. I saw this, and you know, he's been, you know, Sagar and Janetti's been following this very closely. And who was this guy 8 months ago? 9 months ago? Who was this guy? Rah, 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 Trump. Oh, Trump's the better choice. Trump's the smarter choice. Trump's going to be anti-war. There's a good chance Trump's going to do this and Trump's going to do that. Right? Voted for Trump. J.D. Vance, close personal friend of J.D. Vance's. And would disclose that. Right? To be fair to Sagar, he disclosed that. Oh, by the way, this J.D. Vance guy's a friend of mine. So now he, I mean, what, you know, where's the mea culpa, man? Where's the fucking mea culpa? Huh, Sagar? So we're going to hold on to all the bullshit, all the Second Amendment lies, all the lies about socialism and communism. We're going to hold on to all the fucking right-wing bullshit, right? But just get rid of Trump. And the party of Mitch McConnell and J.D. Vance is worth holding on to, is worth defending. Is that the idea, Sagar? Is that why we're still sticking around? Where's the episode of you saying, I'm no longer a Republican? This party does not represent me. Huh? Oh, we're still conservative, huh? We're still a Republican, huh? How in the hell can you claim to care about the Republic, about democracy, about the Constitution, about the rule of law, and continue to support a political establishment actively dismantling every one of those things? I ask you, what, you know, someone in the chat, make fucking sense to me. Oh, well, I don't want to join the party of Clinton, then I'd be joining the party of pedophiles. Right? That's what they used to say about Clinton. So where's the mea culpa? With your white ass teeth, with your fucking teeth whiter than a fucking sheet of paper, looking like a fucking chiclet puppet. Where's the mea culpa, huh? Where's the I was wrong? Did you do it quietly in your own social media? What, did you just do a single post on Facebook? Because 9 months ago, this motherfucker had the Trump sign in his flag, probably had the Make America Great Again hat at home. Didn't have the balls to wear it, but the motherfucker voted for it, and it was months and months and months of this motherfucker. Oh, maybe Trump's not so bad. No, maybe he's popular. Maybe he's really being truthful about his populism. Maybe, you know, Trump did say he doesn't know what Project 2025 was. Going along with the narratives, going along and reinforcing the lies. Is he critical of some of it some of the time? Yes. But he's still on the fucking right. So here he is. This, I don't know, who is he? Who is he? This man of mystery. Double think incarnate, two fucking ideas placed directly next to each other in his fucking cranium to give us the skinny on the pedophile president. By the way, a good chunk of this, we knew this shit. We just didn't have the fucking, you know, we didn't have the pictures and have the book. But they were like, oh, there's a book and you should, you know, here's some quotes from it. oh, here's some testimony from dozens of women. Here's testimony with a woman who was 14 at the time, who was picked specifically because she looked like Donald Trump's daughter, describing how she had to masturbate Donald Trump. We knew all that when this guy was carrying water for Trump. And by the way, he was carrying water for Trump in the first term too. So here he is to break down the pedophile that he worked so hard to get in charge, and he still carries water for this establishment. So here he is breaking down the pedophiles that, by the way, almost exclusively every one of these people are Republicans. There's probably a handful of Democrats. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, couple others maybe. Almost exclusively Republicans. So here's a fucking shilling Republican to break it all down. Because the legitimate Republicans, they want to see these people arrested. Really? No, they don't really want that. They want some kind of bullshit. They want some kind of cover. Is Dave Smith, famous libertarian Dave Smith, huh? Oh, the honest one, the guy who pedo posts. Is Dave Smith going to be voting Democrat? Really? He's going to tell his audience, vote Democrat, is he? I'll believe it when I fucking see it. Welcome back, Female Eunuch. So here we go. Sagar does all the work. I had all the clips and stuff lined up, but fuck it. Let's steal his shit from Sagar. Where the fuck is the mea culpa? Where the fuck is the apology, Sagar?
The Epstein story now, the White House continues to insist that the story is a hoax, specifically only that Trump's signature in the birthday book was a hoax, but that not all of it is a hoax, but the entire thing is also kind of a hoax. So here's what they had to say.
What is the theory since these documents came from the Epstein estate? Who is, I guess, in your view, faking these documents?
I did not say the documents are a hoax. I said the entire narrative surrounding Jeffrey Epstein right now that is absorbing many of the liberal cable channels on television.
By the way, once again, I'm sorry, I'm only going to point this out once, okay? I'm only going to try to point this out once. We could have been doing this during the election. Let's never forget who was stone cold silent about Jeffrey Epstein. Every single Democrat, every single mainstream news outlet during Trump's election. Not a fucking peep, dude. I called it out. It was all kinds of madness and craziness, right? But I was like, hey, wait a minute. Don't we have a nuclear bomb on Donald Trump that we're not using here? I called that shit out. People who were watching during the election should remember that shit, because I barely do. Hopefully someone with better memory does. But I was calling that out. I was like, what up with Epstein, yo? Are we, silence. I swear to God, silence. So that's the only time I'm going to mention this, that we could have been doing this entire song and dance during Donald Trump's election.
Television is a hoax that is being perpetuated by opportunistic Democrats like Ro Khanna and the others.
No strategy. I'm not saying all the time, but I did bring it up. God damn it. I had to cover a million other things, but no, I would bring it up. Like, hey, don't we have a fucking bullet in the chamber against Trumpy Dumpy over here? I know I said that shit.
Whom you saw on that press conference outside of Capitol Hill, who are trying to push this hoax against the President of the United States.
What exactly is the hoax? I'm just trying to understand what's fake. What's fake is not the documents.
The hoax is the Democrats pretending to care about victims of crime when they do not care.
Okay, so you agree then that this is happening then? Oh, it's totally real. Yeah, we can't deny that. Shit's real as hell. But, it's fake news what the Democrats are, how they're trying to frame it. Wow, okay, yeah, we'll see how well that one goes.
Care about victims of crime when they have done nothing to solve crimes, when they have done nothing.
We're gonna what about pedophilia, guys? We're gonna what about pedophilia, okay? I mean, look, man, if you what about everything, this is the logical conclusion of what abouting everything, right? Well, what about that? Well, what about that? Well, what about that? Now we're whatabouting pedophilia. Welcome to 2025.
Thing to lock up child pedophiles and child rapists across the country. And when they are now using victims as political props to try and, again, smear the president of the United States and drag on this bad story about him, it is a distraction. The Democrats view this story as nothing more than an attempt to distract from the accomplishments and the achievements of this administration. And that is what we mean when we call it a hoax.
That's what they mean when they call it.
This bitch, she should go live, man. She should just do this stick. You know, she should just do this stick whenever this is over. She should just go on stage and just still pretend to do this, defending whatever crimes.
Okay. All right. Got it. Interesting. All right. So we use that as a segue.
Really? You're not going to call her a liar? Really? Interesting. Okay.
Because
cute.
we're not able to fully go through the entire book. I have now read the entire book, Emily and I, and we've curated a bunch of images here.
This is
from it.
238 pages.
238 pages. It took me a couple hours to go through everything and to scrutinize it. And so I have collated, I think it's 16 of some of the most crazy images. And also just to demonstrate to you the degenerate lifestyle that this man lived out in the open amongst the...
No, not just this man, Sagar. Not just this man. The men that you support. The men that you... Peter Thiel. Okay? Directly connected to your best bud, J.D. Vance, who's about to become president. Okay? Not just Jeffrey. I mean, you know, TYT just did an interview with somebody who was a victim. And she was like, this, you know, it was mainly about like Jeffrey's harem and getting little girls for Jeffrey. But what he would do as like a favor, and I think, you know, as a favor to like some of his rich buddies, he would let them in on it, right? If you were really, really close. And I think this is where like the fawning, worshiping, it's like, oh, thank you so much for letting me into your inner circle. Oh, God, J.D. Vance on the screen. I just saw that. But you know what I mean? Like, oh, thank you so much, Alan Dershowitz. Oh, wow, you know, I heard about these really, you know, sick parties. So amazing that you let me in there. And, oh, wow, what an experience. Right? Because we're talking about, like, you know, guys my age, right? You know, having sex with underage girls. Like, you know, you know, it's not, you know, you can't just walk into a playground and walk out and, you know, with some candy. It doesn't work that way, right? You got to put in the work, and, you know, you get busted for grooming and all that shit. So here's Jeffrey, you know, he's got it all set up. He's got the whole operation going, and he lets you in. And I think somewhere along the line, he got mixed up with Israel and the compromise and stuff like that. You know, I think, you know, maybe to get out of trouble, you know, maybe they, you know, like Israel started utilizing him or Russia started utilizing him. I think that's where it started, but I don't think it started off as like, hey, I'm the IDF. Let's find a magic man, you know, who's like, let's find the next alliteration of the Pied Piper. And let's use him. I think Jeffrey had all that set up. He was doing all that. You know, then came the compromise, the recordings, the cameras, all that stuff. Probably to save his own ass. He probably realized, well, if I can continue this going and I can continue to do this, you know, somehow they found a way to make use of me instead of arrest me. And that basically means I get to keep doing what I'm doing. I think Donald Trump killed him, dude. I think fucking Donald Trump killed him because of this. I think he was under, you know, I think there was some pressure probably from his friends and buddies, probably Sheldon Adelson. Right? Anybody connected to Israel, maybe. I think Donald Trump did that shit, dude.
richest and most powerful people in the world, and to which they not only thought it was funny, but that many of them were, quote, in on the joke, and basically all of the letters were written to. Keep in mind, these are not like frat boys, who are 16, 17 years old. They're like 50, 60-year-old men, right, at a certain point, who are all making like truly disgusting jokes and letters and all these other things, acknowledging his degenerate behavior.
Which, by the way, a lot of this does undermine the testimony that Ghislaine Maxwell
we'll get to that. Don't worry. Yeah.
Does it even warrant bringing up that her testimony is compromised and that it's completely pointless? Like, that's, how about we respect everybody's intelligence over here, Emily? Right? No shit. No fucking shit. It's the most compromised. It's like fucking, Jason Voorhees talking about how he I don't believe in killing people. It's the most compromised fucking testimony since Jason Voorhees made that amazing statement to the Supreme Court about how killing is bad.
We're going to get to that. Ghislaine has got a lot of explaining to do in terms of her sworn testimony that just come out from the birthday book
she doesn't.
itself. So let's start with image number one. Let's just give everybody a taste of Epstein.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have trigger warning. I guess I should have said that beforehand. So there's a photo on the left there of Epstein and his bros all wearing Speedos or tidy white, whatever that you want to say, and then recreating the image together. Shout out to the guy on the right who actually did keep his boxers on for the recreation image where Epstein just, hanging out with the guys together, recreating images some 30 years later. All of us in our tidy whities and in our underwear for the camp. Very normal behavior that middle-aged, actually not even middle-aged, 50-year-old men.
I don't know. It kind of is normal behavior, though. Like, it used to be, at least, considered normal. Obviously, millennials don't get down like this. But this is, like, normal dude, like, because, like, I feel bad, because obviously these guys are perverts and pedophiles. Like, who knows if these guys are. This kind of looks like it's a gay thing going on here. This looks like it's like, the picture before the girls come in. I recognize this guy. Isn't this like a billionaire? I recognize this dude. He's like a famous billionaire. Some like tech guy or something. This looks like, okay, the picture, like I said, before the prostitutes come on in, right?
Are engaging in, right? So just give me a little taste. This comes from the friends.
I feel bad because, look, there's a lot of consenting adults, okay, who cavort in this way, and they really shouldn't feel bad about it, okay? Jeffrey shouldn't be able to ruin, hanging out shirtless with a bunch of dudes. I don't do it myself, but it's like, I'm not going to kink shame. I'm like, we got to be careful about the kink shaming here, okay? Because if it wasn't for the underage prostitutes, right? If these guys were like, okay, and they brought their wives in, they're like at a sauna, and they brought their wives in like 5 seconds after the picture, perfectly normal stuff. But like the context changes. The context changes.
Section of the book, the early friends, the people who he grew up with.
This is the Brooklyn section.
The Brooklyn section.
So the book is, there's a table of contents for this 238-page book that Ghislaine Maxwell put together.
Yeah.
And the pages that the House Oversight.
She put together a massive fucking like piece of compromise against all these guys. This is actually hilarious. Did she know that? She just wrote down a bunch of fucking crimes and shit. This is hilarious.
Committee release
Leather
are
bound
scanned.
it.
That's right.
With some redactions. So the chapters start with prologue, family, Brooklyn.
Oh my God, this guy's got his hand in his fucking yuck, dude. Can we
goes to
get this shit
girlfriends,
off
then
the
it goes
screen,
to children,
please?
which we're going to get to.
I'll get to that.
Entire, all of the names there are redacted. We have some information Sagar's been
all the names redacted. Fuck off with this. Can we fuck off with this already? The victim on TYT was avoiding the names. I don't want to get sued. What the fuck is it going to take to get these fucking names, man? I want some of these people in jail. What the fuck is wrong with us? We all seem to be okay with this. Like, no, names, please. Names.
Chasing it down, but that picture is from the Brooklyn section of the book, which I don't know about you, Sagar. I mean, you're you're very deep in Epstein mythology, but this book, even just the Brooklyn section, even just hearing reflections from.
Good thing you vote and support everybody that is helping Epstein, Sagar. Good thing you're still on the team Like, am I supposed to believe Sagar has some kind of moral disagreement with Jeffrey Epstein when he fucking supports the establishment that, you know, that buttressed and protected Jeffrey Epstein and most of them utilized his fucking services? Oh, now he's got a moral problem with it as he votes and pulls the lever for him every single fucking time, carrying big old buckets of water for him? I'm supposed to believe he has a moral problem with Jeffrey Epstein and the people he hung out with, huh? While he fucking fully supports it. God damn it, Sagar.
Some of his friends on Jeffrey Epstein's early life, his upbringing, his accordion playing. I actually think we got substantially more information about Jeffrey Epstein's personal biography.
That's right. Yeah, so just to explain a little bit, there's been a lot of questions about who Epstein was before Dalton. We focus on the Dalton school.
Bro, she's good to go.
And where he is this teacher who's never graduated from college. He's hired by Bill Barr's father to teach math. We know that he was chasing young girls, even as a teacher at age 23. So it's kind of a question. You're like, hey, you know, where do these predilections come from?
And yes, by the way, he was likely hired by Bill Barr's father. We can go down that rabbit hole, but we're not going to.
Thank you. But prior to that, there's kind of a black hole about Epstein. We know he grew up there in Brooklyn. We don't really know a lot about what he did. What comes out from the book is that even when he's a teenager, him and his friends are all reminiscing about their wild sexual escapades. Not, I mean, look, I'm not even going to read it. Like, it's so graphic. I literally cannot read some of this stuff.
No, I was a little, I wanted, like, I would really just prefer to, like, have the book open and just go through with it page by page. But there's, like, you get to see Ghislaine Maxwell's titties and stuff in there. Like, I'm going to download the book and upload it to the Discord and everything, but I don't think I'm able to, like, just go through it on stream.
It's wild. I mean, and it's one of those where you're like, oh, so even as a teenager, you and your friends were engaged in like very predatory, creepy behavior. I'm going to get to some of the images just to show you guys some of the jokes that they were throwing around. I did think it was important. Let's put the next one up on the screen. Very early in the book, we see this image of a woman who is posed there with Jeffrey Epstein, and the caption is, quote, "He is the boyfriend of X." Quote, "We think he works for the CIA." So why does that matter? Because it's exactly in those very early days, and I focus on this in the Epstein mythology, that his initial interactions with intelligence, or at least appear to be interacted with intelligence, there's a limited amount of evidence for this, seem to come to the surface. And that is his interactions with the...
Look, with all due respect, seriously, to the victims, the full uncensored version of the book should be put out. The victims, quote unquote, are, it's interesting how, you know, they were used from the beginning, they're used throughout this, and now even in this stage the victims are being used to protect evil, right? Because under the auspices of the victims, all this censorship is being done. Okay, and it's not just the victims that are being censored. We can see that clearly. The names are being redacted. Fuck right off.
These arms dealers, where he allegedly, according to their testimony, got on a private plane to the
This all like, oh, it's going to hurt Trump. It's going to hurt Trump. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? They're locking down the elections, right, to guarantee wins everywhere. The midterms are going to be likely stolen. And there's no enforcement. There's no law enforcement that's going to be arresting anybody for any of this. So really, the only thing they need to do is like lock down the media, and that was part of the trajectory anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, the threats against Jeff Bezos to shut down Twitch, the threats against Google to shut down YouTube, and of course, massive lawsuits and removing FCC licenses for MSNBC and ABC and anybody else left. There he is. Jesus Christ. God damn. Sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. Handsome man.
Pentagon and was engaged in sketchy financial transactions, all of which are involving people like Robert Maxwell and the Khashoggi family, you know, so many of these others who are basically high financier cutouts for different states like Israel, Saudi Arabia, and others. Some of it is also linked back to Iran-Contra. Just to give you an example, and it's in these early days that I don't think it's a coincidence, quote, "We think he works for the CIA." Even though Ghislaine said, oh, he would never do that.
And then they put it in
I would have known, and then of course they put it in the book. book. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was a joke. I don't think so. All right. So let's continue, shall we? To the children's section of the book. Again, where these predilections are just like out in the open. I literally don't even know. I mean, I don't have any words for this stuff.
Children's section.
It's like, here comes the bride, all dressed in white. You know, where's the groom and his ladies? Where is the reminder? Work on his binder.
So, what we are seeing is just a little hint at one of the scenarios that Jeffrey Epstein, provided. Fake weddings with children, right? Where the groom is the grown man. And then they, conceive the marriage. It's a fantasy that pedophiles have. It's actually, no, that's a different thing. I was thinking of something else. What is his reminder to work on his binder? Is the glory? This may or may not be what I described, though. This could honestly just be someone, some kid, an actual just child's drawing for Jeffrey. It could also, but if it was drawn by an adult, you know what? I don't know. It seems too evocative, right, to be drawn by children. These children up here crying, intentionally crying. It does appear to be depicting something that happened. It does appear to be depicting something that happened. Jeffrey right here. Yeah, this could have very well been drawn by an adult.
In the glory, what does that say of his dog? Like this is literally a children's rhyme image that was drawn for him by a literal child. We don't know exactly the name because it's redacted actually in the book, but this is for some reason meaningful.
So we don't know if it was a child then, if the name's been redacted. Was the age not redacted? We don't know if this was drawn by a child.
To him in this birthday book could be a relative. Again, it's not all that explained. It's creepy. It's weird. The bride, what is the mythology, the symbology of
this? This kind of seems like Jazane Maxwell, and this kind of seems like Jeffrey. Group of girls crying, and then a smaller girl here.
This, and if you're at all familiar with some of the, I really hesitate to go in, but if you ever watch True Detective season 1, right? The idea of the child bride and all of that it's deep in the lore of a lot of the way that these guys act. And I'm not making this stuff up. Let's put the fourth image here on the screen. I mean, again, trigger warning. Okay, thankfully some of it is censored, but this is a small child girl who somebody's family member, I guess, parent submitted to the book of her posing suggestively in pajamas playing the piano. Keep the piano in mind. It continues to recycle throughout the book. And go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, if you're just listening to this and you're not seeing the poses that this girl is in, there's one where she's sort of popping her hip out.
Right, it's hypersexualized image of a young girl.
Right, so if someone is trying to, if we're steel manning the Epstein defenders who say, maybe it's
these kind of legal but suggestive imagery. This is definitely something that happens. I've seen some documentaries that get into this. There's it's pseudo legal gray area stuff, where it's they're fully dressed, but they do, photo shoots, that kind of stuff. This is definitely evocative of those kind of that kind of material.
No.
Maybe it's, I mean, even if it is.
Oh my God.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Look, as a father of a young girl now, whoever did this.
So you have a young girl, all this about Jeffrey, and whose saga, how many Republicans are you going to be voting for this year or next year in the midterm saga? Where's the mea culpa for helping put this man in charge, Sagar? Do you feel bad about that? I'd feel terrible about it. Like, wow, I was hoodwinked, and then not only was I hoodwinked, but this guy's a predator.
You're sick. I mean, you should be prosecuted. But let's continue. I mean, more photos. Okay, let's go to the next one. Same thing. A presumably young child holding a teddy bear. These are all being included in the book. I don't know exactly what that image on the right is.
So these could be family members. These could also be memories of children that they were able to secure and abuse. With certain information being redacted, we don't know. So, you know, it could very well just be it could be just as innocent as, oh, here's my, you know, niece, because like these things have been normalized, and then they mix in with normal life. So just because we're seeing an image of a child doesn't necessarily mean that. But the content, most of the content of the book, is of a hinting nature. Is of a, you know, it's almost like a book of conquests, right? Of adventures. Like, here's all the, you know, like, remember this time, remember that time, without explicitly saying, right? Just an image of the child. Oh, remember this kid? It really does have the feeling of that.
Is potentially it's Epstein or somebody else with the child laying in bed. But I mean, again, you know, these are really disgusting images in the context of some of the things that we know about Epstein from this point forward. So this then fits.
I've heard statements that he's at the very least, the youngest number that I've heard so far in some of these victim statements is 10 years old. You know, so it's really the sky's the limit. If you just, you know, if they can get their hands on any of these children, right? We don't need to go into details.
Very importantly, again, with his early upbringing and with his friends. So let's go to the next one, because here, this is a little joke between Epstein and his friends. So this is a photo, for those who are just listening, of Epstein and his friend. One is wearing a ski mask. The guy's holding a knife in his hand. Epstein is what is that? Pantyhose is wearing over his face, and they're posing. And the caption is written, quote, "Finally, at the home of our friend, let's call him Mr. Brown. Jeffrey unveiled his plan. To some, it may have seemed a get-rich-quick scheme, but to me, it was pure genius."
You see, like, this is unrelated to sexual conquest. It seems like this is just some kind of inside stupid joke, right? It's a little edgy or whatever, right? And juvenile, obviously. It's interesting how it kind of emulates young, poor children, you know, in poverty, who, you know, they'll often take images and videos of them holding weapons, singing songs and stuff like that. So it's kind of evocative of that, but I don't really see any connection to the weird sex shit in here. It's just him being a juvenile idiot. It does give us a look into his juvenile nature. Right. Anybody, you know, a grown adult who's serious wouldn't, you know, would think this is totally ridiculous. We're not doing this. But he was like, oh, isn't this funny? Right. He's like, it's very childlike.
Rob and kill was the name of the plan. The first victim,
Steve.
blank, to be attacked and brutally plundered. Would she want more than that? Question mark. On the boardwalk in Venice Beach, broad day.
Okay, the first victim. Oh, interesting. No, wait a minute. To be attacked and brutally plundered on the boardwalk. Would she want more than that? Okay, no, I'm sorry. I should have read more into this. This is basically a rape fantasy. Wow. So these guys may or may not have engaged. So one of his fantasies might have been mugging and raping a woman on Venice Beach or wherever. Jesus Christ. And so, I mean, that does change the context here. Because this could just be a lark, or this could be them remembering a memory. Hey, remember when we, you know, did this? I don't know. We should look at the time frame and see if there were any muggings, rapes around the time that this photo was taken on the boardwalk in Venice Beach. Yeah. No, I mean that's perfectly in line with sadism. Yeah. It's one of the higher pleasures, I think, as described by Saad. Murder, violence.
Daylight. The dastardly thieves were never caught. Postscript. I retired, quote, from the life, but I recently read an article in New York which led me to believe my old friend, Mr. E, had continued on and become an industry leader.
So, yeah, wow. Basically, he's saying, I retired from mugging and raping women at gunpoint or knife point, but the buddy I used to do it with continues to do so prolifically. Wow. It can't happen every night, but I mean, there were, there's no way it happens because like all the technology, right? I know this stuff still happens, these kind of things, but the whole like warriors come out to play, like that kind of stereotype, like, do those places still exist? Right? Where if you're like a woman walking down, like it's like a Charles Bronson movie, the fucking steam coming out of the fucking asphalt. You're walking down, you get pulled into a dark alley. It has to still happen. I don't know. It just it just seems so old school. I don't know, but of course it probably still happens.
Look, I know it was a different time. It's 2000. I mean, I was alive in 2003, so were you. I don't think it was all that different. I think that's
2003.
I don't think there's an innocent explanation for this. So, like, what is the implication exactly here that we used to go around?
This is like fantasy. Come on, fantasy. These guys, the 2003, this guy was connected, rich. What are they doing? What are they finding, like homeless chicks or something? I don't know. This seems like rich guy fantasy, rich guy slumming it fantasy kind of bullshit. I don't know. I need to see more proof of this, right? Because it could be one way or it could be the other, right?
Robbing and raping women, like, with masks on our face. This is the sign
or joking about
sick, degenerate individuals, at the very least, and potentially much larger criminal behavior. Killer. And it's that context of who he was amongst all of his friends and others, which becomes relevant as we start to get into the richest and most powerful people in the world, which gets to our next one.
The Cybertruck would be a terrible vehicle to kidnap somebody in. You can't, it'd be comical to try to kidnap somebody in a Cybertruck. You couldn't throw them in the back because you got to climb up it.
Let's put it up there, please, on the screen. So here we have a letter. On the occasion of Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, I haven't fully deciphered this. It says,
there's a key in the book, the Vanity Fair.
All right, so Vanity, okay, that's what it is. Okay, so a VFPC is something to be. A VFPC is something to see. A liver, a lover, a Jeff, a Jeffrey. Let's all give a cheer, for today is his 50. 5 decades, or half century, by birds and bucks, C and M's are his key. Blonde, red, or brunette, spread out geographically. With his net of fish, Jeff's now the old man and the sea, teaching math, trading options or foreign currency, green eye shades, schemes and plans, a unique tax strategy, wet dream, and I can't read that, an architect's wild spree, Moscow, Paris, Santa Fe, Alhambra East, Jamboree. Let's go to the
wet dream and Cauchy Mar. It's like CAUCHEMAR, possibly. An architect's wild spree, Moscow, Paris, Santa Fe, Alabama, East Jamboree. So, I mean, yeah, he would, he would seek out women all over the world. He'd try to get girls all over anybody who is interested, anybody vulnerable enough, who could, fit the profile. Because, like, he would do the usual shtick, I'll change your life. I'll change your life, live the rich life. We'll go to Paris. We'll go to Milan.
Next part, Maxwellian delight, a mother's treasure. Great joy, most surely. Harvidian patron, brain researcher for extending, I can't read that right there. Outrageous, iconoclastic,
for extending, wanna be outrageous. I think it says wanna be, maybe.
Conventional, spirit free. Best of all, a dear friend. Happy birthday, Jeffrey. Love and kisses. Leon Black. Okay, that's Leon Black, who was one of the richest, most powerful people in the state of, or
Right. Love and kisses. Love and kisses.
in the city of New York. Private equity giant paid Jeffrey Epstein some $170 million. Most of us don't really know why. He's joking here about the Vanity Fair poster child. I guess the VFPC, they're all joking about the fact that Vanity Fair, of course, included him on that cover in 2003, where that just scratched the surface of some of his predilections. But unfortunately,
Yeah,
a
he
lot of the most
definitely
damning
changed their
reporting
lives.
was actually buried after threats and others were made against Graydon Carter. And the reporter who worked on that story, Vicky Ward, has shown that she had so much of the Epstein story, even at that time, but that it was killed after legal threats and by a lot of other stuff that was going on.
Right, Sagar. And let me just get this clear. You knew all that when you voted Donald Trump, right?
Now, let's go to the next one, shall we? This is a, quote, Vanity Unfair cover featuring Nicole Kidman that was included by Alan Dershowitz in his birthday letter to Jeffrey. What does that say?
Nicole Kidman of Eyes Wide
Right,
Shut
yeah, well,
fame,
exactly. Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you. And that's where the piano also cuts in here. They say, bring it on, Jeffrey. Consume me, Jeffrey. Intoxicate me, Jeffrey. Nicole Kidman bears her soul. So it looks like what Alan Dershowitz did is he like superimposed Epstein's name onto a bunch of other captions that are there on there. It says Jeffrey Epstein on the rampage, Jeffrey Epstein's bloody submarine, Jeffrey Epstein.
Whoa. Bulletproof bullet with the breaking fucking news. Fucking Beavis himself, Charlie Kirk, reportedly shot at Utah Valley University. What? This was 11:42. This was several minutes ago. I got to be careful, of course, about what am I going to say here. So we're covering this. Obviously, we're switching over. I need to be careful about this. Charlie Kirk, dude. We talk about how the fascists and authoritarians push society into a corner. And we talk about how the fascists and authoritarians set up authoritarian police states. You know, they get the brown shirts, ICE, Stasi, you know, the Gestapo. They set those things up very quickly because when you take away liberty, when you take away freedom from people, they get angry. I think, though, that this is not the case of a leftist anti-fascist. What this appears to be, what this is likely going to be, ironically, probably, is a right winger who's mentally ill, who you know, Charlie Kirk advocated for cutting all of his services, no mental health help. Right? Charlie Kirk would be the kind of guy that identifies the problem, but then votes for people who will do nothing, you know, laugh in the face of a solution. So this is very likely, we don't know. It literally happened minutes ago, but this is very likely, you know, a right winger, crazy Epstein guy. Right. Watch it be a trans person. Watch it be another trans person. That could be the case as well, though. And remember, the last trans person that committed violence was a right-wing trans person, right? Was a trans person who had adhered to right-wing ideology, which is also not the first time we've seen that. Let's see if we can get some more additional news here. Big props to Bulletproof Bullet for letting us know about this breaking news here. Of course, this will be used to justify violence against the left, regardless of who did this. This will be used to justify violence against the left for sure. See, has this even hit YouTube? Here we go. Yeah, let's steal Vosh's stuff here for a second. What's he got? Because he's got people sending him stuff.
According to Newsweek, he was shot near the neck. It certainly looked that way from the video.
Whoa, there's video? Someone help me out. Someone get me this fucking video, dude. Hold on, I can't show it.
I still remember that KTVU Fox 2 interviewed DePape, the attempted assassin, and just let him speak completely uninterrupted and unchallenged for several minutes. Yeah, they really, truly
TOS.
do not give a shit. They have been openly signaling that they are pro-assassination of their political opponents for years, like unambiguously.
Okay, this video doesn't help. Okay. So this is just a guy. This is literally a sociopathic right-winger making content. He keeps pointing the camera at himself,
Larry
screaming.
Ellison is now the wealthiest person in the world.
Charlie Kirk got shot. Charlie Kirk
VP
got
just
shot.
posted about it. Figures he'd be the fastest to the punch.
Charlie Kirk got shot. Yeah, I mean this.
Stop about a civil war. Yeah, well.
No, exactly. This is what happens.
I'm waiting for any kind of like legitimate
provoke a civil war.
A news organization to open up a
Trying to find the video here.
A live thread on this.
Oh, hold on.
Nothing
yet.
Shit.
Okay. Holy fucking shit. Okay, I can't fucking show this to you. Folks, I don't even think I should put the link in the chat. I might get in fucking trouble. I've done that in the past, and I haven't gotten trouble. Okay. You're going to have to get the link from the Discord. I'm sorry. I don't mean to direct people to the Discord, but you're going to have to get this link in the Discord. I just put it in the politics section. Here's an invite to the Discord if you haven't seen it. There's a link right there. So it's a really quick video, and it unfortunately pulls away the second he's shot. It pulls away, but he's basically sitting there. He's basically sitting there, and he's got the stupid fucking table and the stupid fucking microphone. You know, the whole thing that South Park made fun of. And he pulls back and appears to react. Did they already pull it? Well, I'm looking at it right now. It's an Instagram link. Here, let me see if I can. Yeah, so there you can hear the audio. Yeah, you can hear the audio of him getting shot. Let me copy link here. Try this one. 1 second here. Try this one. There we go. Oh, there we go. Different, yeah, web copy link. That one maybe should work. I can't show this to you. But yeah, there's the shot. And then he's falling over. Holy fucking shit, dude.
Video from up close, don't show on stream. I believe I've seen this.
Okay,
unless it's a different video.
Where's the video up close? Sounds like he's dead, dude. Sounds like they got him.
No, this video was from much further up close. Oh, wow. He might actually be dead.
Holy shit. Okay.
That's almost dead center on his neck. He might actually be dead.
Holy shit. Obviously, we don't support violence. You know, this is counterproductive. Right? Let me make that clear. But I do need to make clear
at the very
that,
least, it'd be extremely surprising if he wasn't.
Um,
if he is dead or dying, we're probably not going to get confirmation of it for quite a while. By quite a while, I mean in like real
Sorry,
time
I was just
terms. So at least
updating.
like, you know.
Okay, someone get me that fucking link. Okay, someone get me the fucking link. I need to get confirmation myself. We do not support violence on this stream, but we must understand that those who support taking away people's freedoms, those that support dismantling democracy, those are violent acts against society. And not everybody has it together. Not everybody, you know, is willing to engage with somebody who they disagree with, but not want to kill them. Right? We, like I always say, we're trying to defeat these people politically. You might have heard me say that, right? We need to defeat the neoliberals politically. We need to defeat the Republicans politically. Because what are we going to see from this? What are we going to see from this? No, Ford. What are we going to see from this? They're going to vilify the left. Right. Even if it is a stone cold right winger doing it. Bulletproof. Give me a link, bro. Give me a fucking link. Put the link in the gut. That one didn't work. No shit. Someone give me a fucking link immediately, bro. I got to see this for myself. All right.
That video looks fake. You don't believe that quick? Can we like chill on the retardation?
I got it. There
will be plenty of time to schizo post in the near future.
Hold on, I got to see this shit.
Well, I am wondering what the fuck the next move is going to be from the administration. Like, obviously, we're dealing in like in statistical categories here, right? Like the right is a monolith that wants to see hundreds of millions dead at a minimum. We're not really talking about individuals here. We're seeing like,
Thank you, Ford. Taking a look
in the
now.
Context of this shooting, how is the administration going?
Yeah,
to
so that's the video.
I'm not going to engage in the. I'm not going to engage in like the false rhetoric of like
putting
anyone on the right is principally opposed to political violence. We're so far past that. What are they going to do with this?
Hold on. I'll be showing something on screen in a second here. I'm just taking a look at these links.
Looks like it was an old man. Yeah, that seems to be the case.
An old man? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fuck us, dude. Fuck us running if it's an old man liberal, dude. If it's an old hippie liberal. All right, if it's an old man right-winger. But God help us all if it's an old man hippie left winger, dude. Jesus. He's like a Bernie guy.
Okay, they can't go the anti-gun angle. What are they gonna do? University of Utah gets divestment. I have no idea what the narrative's gonna be.
Dude.
If the shooter really is an old white man, they're probably not gonna have an easy time making it about race or being transgender or whatever.
God damn. God damn.
Oh God, is this real? Yeah, it's a shot to the throat.
He's fucking dead, dude. Oh, shit. Yeah, we don't need to listen to Vosh. We can do Hassan as well. Holy fucking shit. So hold on, Twitch here. Let's do Hassan. Holy nutsack, dude. Holy fucking nutsack. 1 second. Let me do something here. This is like I'm like shaking right now. I'm actually trembling right now because of how in danger we are. The left.
You know,
progressives.
This is a person who does what I do, but you know, on the opposing side, I was supposed to debate him at Dartmouth University 15 days from now in a public event.
Okay, straight up, let me tell you, I have confirmed in the video, he's sitting there, bullet hits him, blood immediately down the shirt. Of course it's politically motivated. Unless this is like some shit eating, literally like, you know, homeless weirdo who's just like, I'm gonna kill this random guy. No, dude, no. So no, he takes one right to the fucking neck, and dude, he like, it looks like he instantly dies. But you know, I've seen many shootings where it looks like, oh, that dude's fucking toast, and they survive. Welcome back, Lee, Kralazaneth, everybody else. This channel does not support political violence. Need to, you know, TOS. We got to make sure we're on top of that. Let's hear more from Hassan here. Or was he banned? What happened here? No, we're still in it.
With them at close proximity. We don't know that that's exactly what happened here, but it is notable given what you were just describing, Chief Ramsey, as the
post
setting
away
for these
strategy,
events.
please.
We also have a
all
a statement put out
shit
by,
I can't show
California
you. All the shit that I can't show you that I've looked at is in the Discord. If you want an invite to the Discord, let me know. I'm not trying to direct you to the Discord, but I'm also trying not to get my ass banned. Okay? Because dude got murdered. Dude got straight murdered on screen. And if you haven't seen somebody die before, don't watch it if you don't want to see it.
Republicans, the weight that he carries and his voice within the conservative movement, especially among young people, he's someone who at times has had the president's ear as well.
Not just had the president's ear at times. I mean, he is incredibly close with President Trump. They speak directly.
No, I didn't.
He
I
also
was
is
looking.
close
I was
with
looking in the crowd.
High-level members of the administration.
I didn't want the whole stream to just turn into me just looking into a blank void here. I wanted to get something on the screen for you guys, but I was looking for the shooter in the crowd. I didn't see it. Is he dead? Yeah, the footage that I've seen. It's in the Discord. If you want to see it, that's a kill shot. And the way that his body moves and reacts to the shot, it's. I think Vosh is correct in his assessment that it definitely, not definitely, I'm not a doctor, but, you know, he did that shit that people do when they're shot and they die and they flump over, and the camera pulls back. It's Larry David. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go no screen here while I take a look at this link. Holy fuck. Okay, this is the guy, huh? Oh, shit, fuck, shit. I don't know. He doesn't look liberal. Okay, I can show you this. I can definitely show you this. So the guy didn't off himself. Oh, fuck, shit, fuck.
That's right to make sign. That's right to make sign.
Okay. Okay. The plot fucking thickened, dude. The plot has fucking thickened. The plot is super thick. The plot is fucking crazy thick. Okay, whoa, I can't show you that. All right, hold on. I got to close some of this shit up. Okay, don't show that. Don't show that. Okay.
He's influential in Washington. He's influential.
All right,
in the
Hassan's got the
Republican
CNN
Party,
up. Let's
and
just watch this for a little bit. It's fine.
Trump,
Everybody else steals shit from
This is part of the
Hassan.
reason why I don't make a big fucking public show of a lot of the public events that I'm attending ahead of time until it's happening.
Oh,
in
shut
real
up.
time.
Don't make this about you, bro. Come on. Yeah, Kirk, it was a direct shot on Kirk. He was sitting like, it was like, he was framed like a target, basically. He was the only one there. No one was around him. Shot directly into him.
Violent every day. It's one of the most insane. This is one of the most insane things I've seen.
This is what happens though when you dismantle society.
From what I saw, I look, there's no confirmation yet. But I saw the close-up video to confirm the veracity of the reporting, and let me tell you, in the absence of like immediate, super significant medical intervention, I don't know how he survives that, because
there has to be footage of
yeah,
the
I
of the
will
broadcast.
just say
there has to be up close, fucking gross up close footage of him getting straight murked like that, dude. That eventually we're gonna probably see.
It's right in the fucking neck, and
like
the amount of blood that gushes out of his neck
immediately
in that moment in real time implies that there is very, very low.
And remember, folks, this is a guy that says guns for everybody, more guns in schools. That's the solution, right? Thoughts and prayers. And we're like, hey, us little wokesters over here constantly pointing out, hey, doesn't that make society less safe? Doesn't that make society less safe? No. You just want to take my rights away. Hospitalized.
If he's actually at the hospital, that means
no. That doesn't mean anything. That's just procedure. Obviously, he's hospitalized. That doesn't tell us anything.
Kirk has been scheduled to appear at Utah Valley University on Wednesday as a part of the American Comeback Tour. I don't.
Yeah, Simply Steve, indeed. If you spread hate throughout society,
I was supposed to debate him in 2 weeks at Dartmouth University.
You get this kind of attention if you spread positivity as well, But if you stick your neck out, But if society is violent, and of course if you encourage the further, you encourage society to get more violent. Violence will happen.
Look, there is. I have a lot of opinions and a lot of feelings right now. One is that this is
it's no LeVar Burton.
This is a person that I have known and have been that I've debated in public settings.
Right. So, okay, not to criticize Hassan for making it about himself, but look, I'm just some schmuck in my fucking house. He goes on stage. He engages in politics, right? He engages, like, I've given him plenty of credit for being out in the streets and protesting, right? It is, I could see it from Hassan's perspective, how it could be pretty personal, You think about it sometimes, but you probably try not to think about it. You can just get popped at any time by some crazy person with their own agenda. Everyone's got a gun. Anyone can do it. And just one slip up, some half-ass pat down on a 60-year-old man. Yeah, it was a lethal shot from everything that I've seen. So I could see from Hassan's point of view how this could be like, pretty real.
At the situation, it's a little bit difficult for me not to feel heavily biased.
We don't want this.
You a leftist for the fashion.
We don't want this. The left. We don't want this shit. We don't want violence. We try to do everything nonviolent.
There's an 87 to 90% chance of surviving a gunshot wound to the neck if no major arteries were destroyed. So chances of him surviving are quite high.
He was hitting in the fucking spine, dude. It wasn't like it was a like disconnection.
I mean,
it was a disconnect. It was a kill shot. It was a disconnection. If you've either seen videos of people getting shot or you haven't, and good for you if you haven't. I don't encourage you to do so.
There was a local news live stream.
Protesters up above him and to his right, not in the area that the shot came from. And they would say things and boo here and there, but overall,
yeah, bulletproof. That's a good point. Put in the work like Charlie Kirk, huh?
The levels when events are held out here. Obviously, this was a big crowd, but are they typically occupying
Volume master. Maybe I should
look. I don't know if it was his jugular or not, but the amount of blood that I saw fucking spurting out of his neck made me think that it was most likely his jugular.
Okay, well, we appreciate your
like
insight,
it is the most
Jeff.
horrifying
Thank
thing
you so
I've
much for
ever
joining us
seen.
and jumping on with us for our call.
It's definitely not the
Maybe
most horrifying
made more
thing I've ever
horrifying
seen,
by the
but-
fact that I know him personally. I've known him for years and have.
Yeah, it would be totally fucking weird to know him on a personal level and then and watching a video of him getting brutally murdered. That definitely would be weird, because I've definitely never interacted with Charlie Kirk. He's only like an idea to me, a fascistic idea. But still, at the same time, he's still only an idea to me. But to Hassan, he's, a guy. Maybe he didn't like or respect him, but, he knew the guy, right?
Jesus Christ. I'm a 34-year-old man, okay? Shut up. Oh, my God.
We understand there was
Stop
a
babying
speaker.
Wow, 34 years old. He's so fucking young. Wow, it's actually incredible. Oh, come on, Kyle. You better get your ass back on stream.
Haven't even spoken yet. And so we're taking a look
Okay, so
right now on your screen here. We're getting more video of Utah Valley University.
Okay,
at
they
this
paused
speaking
the
event.
video.
Okay, I was thinking, say they're not going to show the shooting, right? That's
yeah, I was about to say,
extremely graphic
Vosh.
for news.
Right before the shooting.
Yeah. So this is the image right before it happens, and he slumps, blood immediate, disconnects, and then the camera pulls away.
As a result of that single shot, that single sound. But we're told the police presence was quite significant, both uniformed police officers, but also those who jumped into action after this particular event.
Once again, I'm just going to repeat this just several times. This channel does not support political violence. If you've ever watched this channel, I'm always pointing out how counterproductive it is. I pointed out for Hamas. I pointed out for protest movements all over the place. I understand, just stop oil and what they're trying to accomplish, right? But when you're blocking traffic, it's a little bit different than spraying cornstarch on the Mona Lisa. It's two different things. But obviously, when it comes to violence, it's counterproductive, y'all, for the left. And you want to know why even if this guy is a stone cold right winger, MAGA lover, pictures of him all over social media in MAGA hats, they're still going to use it as justification to go after the left, right? They'll just say we're going to go after the violence, but they're going to be targeting leftists.
It's very possible that he died on the way or even before getting on the ambulance, and they're just waiting for the announcement.
Yeah, no, dude's dead.
So right now, I don't
he
think
was
we
dead
have
on
any
the ground.
confirmation as to his status.
He was
Retired
dead
law
on the ground.
enforcement officer, so he had a.
We were both at the school with the shooting.
Okay, Haley and Mia.
Okay. They keep scaring me with this video. I'm like,
Haley,
they
can
better
you
not
tell
show
us
it.
what did you see and what did you hear? What happened?
So we ended up getting there late, and we
So that's
were
interesting.
coming in behind
he died
where
right.
he was speaking.
He died right at the moment he gave some snotty answer, some gotcha reply to some college student, and then got blooped. Man, it's not going to help the leftist movement, and that's what I care most about here. I'm not a fan of Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to, I don't respect his work. I don't respect his ideology. I don't respect his fervor to take away from the poorest and weakest of society. I mean, it's not official, but everything I've seen people get shot before, and that dude looked dead to me.
Every single
But what do I
person
know?
that started running. You could feel it. They were crying.
No, no, we've confirmed the person who shot him. He's like a 60, 70-year-old man, dressed completely normally. He did not have any kind of, anything to indicate that he was anything other than a normal guy. But that, of course, might be what he was wearing to blend in and, to get into this, to get close enough to take the shot or whatever. But
we can now confirm Charlie Kirk was the individual shot on UVU campus. It was a highly promoted speech that was scheduled for this morning. Charlie Kirk, of course, an American right-wing political activist. Right. He's an author. He's a media personality.
So, in a couple minutes, in a couple moments, they're going to be kicking down this guy's door, at his house, going through his shit. Maybe by the end of the day or maybe by tomorrow, we'll know what side he is politically, right? Because that's what we really all need to know, right? Was this a right winger who didn't like because Charlie Kirk's been defending Donald Trump's pedophilia, and a lot of right wingers are not down with that. They've really not been a fan of Charlie Kirk's. The president's my buddy. He literally said that, my friends in the administration, let's trust them. So he's been really defending the administration's pedophilia, Jeffrey Epstein stuff, saying we should all move on and forget about it. So this very well could be one of those, Pizzagate right wingers, right?
Jesus, I wonder when Carolyn Levitt's going to speak on this. You can expect that.
Well, and Charlie Kirk at the time was seated underneath a canopy shaded just to the left of that podium when that shot was fired.
Yeah,
KSL reporter Alex Cabrero is en route to Utah Valley University. He also
I think trans people are safe on this one, quite frankly.
Is tracking
get people to leave at least where we can see.
I think trans people are safe on this one. That guy did not look trans in any sort of way,
as well, just to be a part of this, to see this or witness this or be there, because Charlie Kirk is such a large presence, has a lot of fans. And so we're just in the middle of that right now, trying to make our way.
I'm leaning towards chided, a right winger that feels betrayed, that feels like Charlie Kirk is part of the deep state that defends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
In support of Charlie Kirk, sending prayers, President Trump, J.D. Vance, local leaders as well. But we don't have a current update on the condition of Charlie Kirk.
That's right, yeah, and I haven't heard anything myself either, and I haven't seen any of those videos yet myself.
Simply Steve, you're a citizen. You're not a political commentator like I am, so you're allowed to have your opinions, but please, let's keep the... you're allowed to have your feelings and opinions, but let's just make sure that we're not celebrating this in the chat. Not only is it counterproductive, but it's also something that could get me banned. So let's, let's not do that. And like I said, I'm not celebrating this even legitimately. I'm no fan of Charlie Kirk. I literally called him a fascist every single day of my life, every single stream at least. But violence is counterproductive for the leftist movement. I believe in MLK. I believe in how he created change. He was aggressive. He stood on his principles. But he understood the value of nonviolence, forcing the other side to be the violent ones and to be characterized as such. He understood that the value of that. And I continue to believe in that.
This crowd, it's an outdoor venue kind of centralized to the campus, and estimations put the crowd at
chilling jazz. That's a fair assessment, but we saw the video. I saw the video. I've seen people get shot. Dude looked like he got disconnected. But I've also, as I've mentioned before, I've seen video of people looking like that, getting blopped like that, and then they survive. Usually they survive, like paralyzed or something, God,
I'm just...
Wow.
Muted, that's such an insane thing to have put up there.
Wow.
Get me off local news.
That's his last tweet. I mean,
around him. I know you said there were people there that were sort of some kind of
leftists.
Security, but at least around him there was no sort of plexiglass.
No, like I said before,
kind of
even if this guy's stone cold right winger, it's all right wing, and they're like, they're just going to be like, we got to do something against violence, and then of course they're going to be targeting the left when they go against violence. either way, this benefits the fascist authoritarian regime. Oh wow, look at this angle. This is a new angle.
Give testimony and stuff like that. So it's.
Justin, I do have another question because
makes sense.
We don't know this area as well. Some of our viewers may not know this area as well. How far is the closest hospital, would you say, to the school?
Very close, actually.
Ironically, who, by the way, is making it harder for rural Americans to, have close access to hospitals? These guys, the right wingers, and they're talking about how close is a hospital? Can you help them? Can you help them? I just reported yesterday on how the right-wing movement is closing down rural hospitals. Some people have a hospital, if they have a baby, they got to drive 4 hours to get to a hospital.
There would be other considerations. That's just my suspicion, though. I don't know.
Shot was fired at the visiting speaker, Charlie Kirk. He was hit and taken from the location by his security.
UN TV, once again, you're allowed to have that opinion, but let's make sure we avoid celebrating anybody getting shot. If it was literally Hitler, we're not allowed to be like, yay, someone got shot. Okay.
Proud after getting...
So you're absolutely allowed to have your opinions about somebody who was a clear, overt fascist, actively supporting the dismantling of American democracy. You're allowed to have opinions about that person.
He was already, basically in cuffs and had multiple officers surrounding him, and but it looked like a collared shirt. And,
Crack away.
Sorry, I got SWAT team people walking by me with with rifles out here, so it's a little interesting. But man, just
as you say that, we're actually
in the video.
Yeah, we're looking at a shot now,
Wikipedia marks as the dead. Yeah, Wikipedia doesn't
from our affiliate KSL.
Okay, I'm not going to look it up. Bound. The 4-hour number comes from a story that I reported on a couple days ago. Regardless, the hospital closures are causing delays. People are getting farther. It was like literally brought up during a town hall debate. About the farmers, and they were saying, we need to have hospitals that are closer to us. Graham Norton, is this new politician? Graham something, this new politician. That's one of his big policy proposals, is reopening rural hospitals for that reason, because they're too far away. So if I'm inaccurate about the 4-hour, I apologize. But the point still stands that the conservative movement is actively cutting rural hospitals, cutting funds for these rural. Almost all their money comes from Medicaid or Medicare, and they're getting cut all over the nation. That is a direct result of right-wing conservative ideology, the kind that Charlie Kirk was incredibly proud of.
Just because some people may be tuning in right now, Justin, you said you were on the left side.
I'll be online at least until 2:00 here PST, and then we'll see if I can do any more. But I'm here alone with the kid today, so we'll see what I can do. If there's any major revelations, that absolutely I need to cover it right away, I'll do that. But likely at the end of 2:00, that'll be the end of my stream, and then I'll pick it up tomorrow. We'll do a follow-up.
Is this really happening? Is it, and basically everybody just screamed and fell to the
addicted.
floor.
Yeah, no, I mean, Charlie,
But,
look.
He was a witness.
Look, I mean, Charlie Kirk kind of deserves that statement, doesn't he? I mean, how many times did Charlie Kirk glibly type into his social media thing, thoughts and prayers, and, oh, here's another shooting that I need to, diminish and politicize immediately. He definitely saw himself as a political weapon, and he gladly utilized himself as such when it came to gun violence. The left needs to defend itself and say, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? When we don't take care of mental health, when everybody has access to a gun, and let's remove red flag laws. Right? I bet you this guy has a history of mental health, undiagnosed mental health issues, right? You know, that's how the left defends itself, which is like, yes, no, we have the ideas to stop this. We are very worried about this. We're very worried about this getting worse. And we want to do something. It's going to cost money. We have to tax the rich to do it. Oh no, he said the R word. No, we can't do that. No, protect our precious rich. Right. But it's like, no, this costs money. Mental health care costs money. Regulating guns costs money. We have to make society safer to make people feel willing to give up their guns. So it's an incredibly complicated problem, you know, and it's like right wingers, what do they want to do? They want to make it worse. And this is how we defend ourselves on the left. We want to make it better. We have solutions. But they're going to say, you know, what's the solution? Well, it's DC. Look what happened in DC. He erased crime. With a police state, right? Police state. That's the solution. That's going to be the solution that they offer us, is hardcore police state. Ironically, it's going to be anti-gun. It's going to be grab the guns. Ironically, it's going to be get in the FEMA camps, right? All coming from the right wing, all coming from the people that said we should watch out for, you know, Joe Biden. He's going to do that to us, right? He's coming for the guns. I'm sure Alex Jones said it 100 fucking times, at least. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're not going to try, strategy member.
That, like, again, in a move, like, compassion is not the name of the game for these people, right? In a movement that is governed by strength and the perceived right to rule, they can't respond to this with nothing. There can't be a come together moment. There's no.
Yeah, Bosch is correct.
There's no way forward for them.
The reaction has to be violence for this movement.
I have absolutely no idea
that's a great
to what
observation.
extent they're going to do this.
I
It's
agree.
in Utah, right? Not like Berkeley, California.
I agree.
If it wasn't done by a trans person or a black person or whatever, probably going to be an anti-Democrat thing broadly. So what? They double down on sending troops to Chicago, Democrat cities? I'm not sure. It'll probably be pretty scattershot for a while until a narrative sort of gets cemented around.
How did we let this in? Who shot him was deranged.
Meowdy.
But, yeah,
Indeed.
it's a sad day.
Justin, we thank you for being with us. I'm sure our producers are going to have you stand by for us. If we get any more information, we're going to kind of want your perspective. I do want to bring in our national
Okay, hold on. All right.
correspondence, intelligence
Let me watch
correspondent,
this.
Tom Winter. Tom, what are you hearing from your sources about either the suspect or what happened there on the campus of Utah Valley University?
They already erased it,
so Tom,
bro.
it appears that one
It's
individual
already gone.
Fired this shot.
No. Okay, hold on. I can see it in the Discord.
As you just heard from our eyewitness, a fairly incredible report from the
Hold
scene. A SWAT team and other law enforcement currently going through the buildings of campus, obviously going through the grounds there that have now well been cleared out from the students from the shot that you're looking at there on the left, which was taken moments before this shot was fired to the upper chest neck area of Charlie Kirk, a conservative commentator. Right now, we have not received official confirmation on the name.
No, so I'm looking at this in the Discord. So it's already been removed from Twitter, but it's still playable in the Discord. And I'm just looking at it right here. No, dude. No, he's not alive. No, that man is dead. Yeah, he literally, he's in a state of rigor mortis before he's even hitting the ground. His body's in it. He's got the, wow. He's got the microphone in his hand. He's holding the microphone and then slowly lets go of the microphone. Yeah, no, that guy is dead. Is very dead.
And not just like a direct affiliate of the Republican Party? Maybe. It's I think you guys are thinking of this in the context
like
of
people are saying he got hit in the neck. I don't know. It kind of looks like he got hit in the head, and that's the shit leaking out of the head.
He's extremely influential.
I don't know, Trailhead.
So keep that in mind when you see how they respond.
See, I don't know, Trailhead. They're going to try to make that happen. They're going to try to make that real.
Fire weapons at individuals or attempt to fire weapons at individuals.
Take a look at,
also using
welcome
fire
back, Smash.
as we saw with the Shapiro attack in Pennsylvania, and as we saw,
it's already gone.
The attack
It's already gone.
on
Smash.
Group of elderly Jewish in his Jewish
Boy, this free speech x.com, huh? It's all about that free speech, huh? They got that algorithm working overtime. Right. No problem watching some liberal get his ass beat, or some wokester getting gay bashed. We can have those videos proliferate for hours and years on X. But a right winger getting assassinated, no, that's got to be censored immediately.
Utah, a state that is.
Yeah, B-Ree, I mean, he's exactly the kind of guy that said all that kind of stuff about guns, right? We should have more guns, nothing we can do about it. This is the new normal kind of stuff, evil stuff. And as leftists, we're like, no, we don't. This makes people could get shot. Gabby Giffords. And Charlie Kirk's the kind of guy that would laugh at Gabby Giffords, right? In private. Oh, stupid liberal got shot. She should have had armed bodyguards, et cetera, et cetera. He was an evil person, Charlie Kirk. He was an evil person. Doesn't mean he deserved it, but it's just like, you surround yourself with scoundrels.
Forward from this, like the chilling.
No, but Hassan was talking about how, he's anybody in public. That's what we're trying to say. Anybody, good, evil. We're all in danger. Salman Rushdie got his eye fucking poked out recently, right? A couple years ago. Right? But overconfidence, fine. Zoran Mamdani's overconfident. We don't want to see his ass get shot. Right? But there's guns everywhere. Blame Palestine and Iran. I mean, they're going to blame someone. If this guy has his car filled with MAGA, I think personally, my prediction is that this guy is a right winger who was mentally ill but mad at Charlie Kirk about the Jeffrey Epstein apologencia.
Tale full of the highly paid professionals, veterans, former police and FBI.
I didn't comment on whether Hassan cared about Salman Rushdie. I was using that as an example how a public speaker can have violence brought upon them, right? While they're publicly speaking, right? They're out there, they're out there speaking, and he got attacked. He got attacked with a knife, Salman Rushdie.
Year-old teenager.
And that's what Hassan was talking about. It's like, we're all in danger.
What the fuck do you think he's going to do after this? When one of his top advisors, the guy that he has named numerous times as a creditor to his success with Gen Z
up, bro. How about you shave me off a fucking slice, man? Come on. Jesus Christ. 104.
I don't even know where we go from this moment on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, we need to see how the right wing reacts.
I don't know.
Okay, look, we need to defend ourselves as leftists. We need to say this is exactly what we're talking about. This is why we want regulation. This is why we want to invest millions or billions in mental health care, right? This is why we want red flag laws. Thank you, Tisrael, and thank you to all the viewers. By the way, I do appreciate it. I'm just making fun, there's no competing. I look at this. I look at boo. My confidence just destroyed. But that's okay. That's where my confidence belongs, in the gutter, in the garbage.
Statistically speaking, these sorts of political violent incidents.
So here's Elon Musk immediately politicizing it, of course. So the left is the party of murder. We don't know anything. We don't know anything, dude. And it's already the left. It's a good chance this guy's a right winger. I think I'm going with mentally ill, religious right winger who was mad at Charlie Kirk for the Jeffrey Epstein apologencia.
Talking about, how am I supposed to debate him? We don't even know if he's alive.
Are you still going to debate him? Show up, Charlie Kirk. Don't bitch out. Don't bitch out, Charlie Kirk. No, he's dead, dude.
Abby D. Phillips says, the degree to which the algorithm on this platform is pushing video of the shooting is incredibly disturbing. There has to be some human that can turn the dial down in a situation like this. The human.
Right. Like we see dead Palestinian kids every day. Like we see the school shootings every day. The footage is all over. Same thing. Same exact media cycle for all this other stuff. We don't hear the right wingers say that shit. Oh, someone stop it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. That's what you want. I think you're a conservative, so I think that's what you want. Is that, he could be a boomer. I was saying, like, he could be a hippie. Didn't really dress like a hippie. His hair didn't look, he looked like a religious conservative. If I was to profile him, my amateur profile, he looked like a religious conservative to me. All right, I want to see the up close. Nope, gone. Gone. Oh boy, Grok is working overtime, folks. Grok is working overtime over here.
I don't know how the fuck I do public events.
Zoran Mamdani, what'd he have to say?
Going forward, like I don't know.
Yeah, this is the right. Not... Yes. That's the right response.
There's another angle of the video as well. A third angle.
I mean, technically, there should be a high-quality 1080p close-up, like perfectly framed shot of Charlie Kirk getting shot.
Maybe he survives this. Who knows?
No, but I'm not going to criticize Hassan one bit for saying this. I don't think he's even making it about himself here when he says this, because I don't think Hassan should do public speaking events for a little while. I think he should just stay online, stay off, But how do we do, we still got to march in the streets, don't we? We still got to get out in the fucking streets. We can't let them. But in terms of high profile scheduled events, I think Hassan would be smart to lay low, at least for a little bit.
I don't understand. Every single person just keeps saying he's in the hospital. They're not.
Oh, yep, that one came up. Yep. Okay.
Or
oh wow.
Confirmed dead. He is dead.
Okay, yeah, that one's working for me.
Where is people getting the he's dead from?
Okay.
I'm looking to.
Okay. All right. I know that link does work, folks.
Not counting.
And it's definitely in the neck.
Gang violence. Great. Not counting gang violence.
And he says, I'm not counting gang violence, and then snap.
Great.
Wow. Holy fucking shit, dude. And then the blood pours. That is a survivable shot. I'm going to say this. If that misses the spine, that could just be trauma from the shot. Now that I'm looking at it this close, if that just missed, because when you hit the jugular, I mean the blood is fucking flowing like a faucet, right? That's exactly what's going to happen when you're shot in the jugular. It looks like it might miss, so it's right around here. It could be missing the esophagus and exiting out before it hits the spine. It could be doing that.
Not counting gang violence. Great.
Yeah. All right, I don't know how long that's gonna stay on Twitter, but we're gonna go ahead and put that in the Discord. So looking at it up close, that's my assessment there. It is not necessarily a kill shot. It is not. I'm gonna rescind my comment about the disconnection. That's what it looks like, folks. That's what it fucking looks like right there. Yes, sir.
It'd be hard for cable TV news viewers or.
That's what it looks like when we give billions of dollars to Israel, who then points their army at children. And that's what it looks like when we've seen gunshot victims. But that's what it looks like, folks, right there.
His career. Again, I get that a lot of people watching right now may find his views abhorrent or maybe totally
okay. What does CNN have to fucking say about any of this? Sorry.
The conservative star that he was, the fact that he was putting himself in the public spotlight to advance his beliefs and advance a movement.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's a kill shot. I don't know. I think I'm going to take that comment back.
He was shot today and why his family may be shattered. And again, we don't know his condition right now. And our prayers.
It could be a miracle shot. It could have hit. It definitely hit the jugular. I'll say that. It hit the jugular for sure.
To be part of it at all.
But if you have medical attention right there to plug that up, start pumping blood into you right there. You know, if you're like within minutes away, and it doesn't hit the spine, doesn't hit the esophagus.
Can move from this moment forward to a place where that decreases or where that is less. I think that that's
pretty elusive
to America right now.
I think it does, David.
I don't know if it's real or not, but chatters are saying he was talking about mass shootings. Like he was answering a question about mass shootings when he got shot.
Yeah, we hear that in the video. He's responding. He's talking about how he doesn't consider gang members or something as part of the stats or something.
Instantly, exactly like, look, this is what I mean. Okay, this is what I fucking mean.
In sort of this modern era.
Someone going, should have been him and not Kirk.
It's really not
like that just happened. That's a YouTube notification from literally.
Political objectives are. It's horrifying. It's horrifying.
A minute ago.
And
what should have been Hassan and not Kurt? Yeah, no, dude. I think Hassan should stay away from public speaking events.
Experience and experiment that we are.
And you know me. I do. You know me. Normally, I would say. Don't bitch out, you know. But no, I think it would be smart. I don't want to see Hassan get shot. Okay, I don't want to see Charlie Kirk get shot. I want to see him live. I hate the man, okay, but I do want to see him live. If only not to make him a martyr for this right wing fascism, you know.
You know, you think about the only way to break a law is if a law first exists, and this is going to open
recall that like not even a month ago there was a political commentator who said that they would justify gunning me down in the fucking street.
Okay. He really does make it a lot about him, though, doesn't he? So anyway, for those who haven't seen it, this is the shooter. Apparently, this is the guy right here. Like I said, I'm getting big, mentally ill, conservative, religious vibes from this guy. I'm really not getting trans person. Okay. Looks trans to me. I mean, it could, you know, what's funny is that, you know, if we leave trans people alone, they would start looking like this, right? They would just totally, you know, if they were just totally comfortable and they could just live their life. But no, I don't. I'm getting big religious conservative vibes. But he also shot him when he was discussing mass shootings. We might be dealing with the left winger here as well. I think I'm about 50-50. Conservative, religious, old guy, liberal old guy, right? Who thinks he's gonna, you know, start the revolution. We don't have a lot of those on the left, though, do we? We don't really have a lot of those on the left, but maybe that's why, you know, that might entice some of because there's mentally ill people on the left, right? You know, there's plenty of mentally ill people on the left that are, you know, something triggers them. You know, they have a bad Monday and they decide to go after Garfield. You know,
I was a shaken ball and mess. I'm still shaking, and I'm still crying. I love Charlie Kirk. He's awesome, and I pray for him and his family.
See, now he's a martyr. The martyr Charlie Kirk. Okay, and that doesn't make his views any more evil or abhorrent, right? It doesn't make any of that any less what it was, but it raises morale for those who believe in it. You know, gives them something to rally around.
You know exactly what the narrative is going to be from so many of them now.
Yeah.
people too was like, look, no matter what side you're on, this shouldn't happen.
Never, never, ever, never. And
never, unless it's a left winger, right? What did she have? I'm curious what she has to say about Gabby Giffords, right? Never, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, the same person that you'd walk up and talk to about Sandy Hook and be like, well, I'm not giving up my guns.
Okay, well, that was rude, but whatever, you know, to each their own. But
my face when I wear a hate symbol and people hate me.
Yeah,
sad. It's really sad, the America that we have today.
I hate it when I wear my Klan hood and people out there judge me for it. It fucking sucks, dude. I just want to be judged for the content of my character, not for the pieces of hate merchandise that I wear to indicate my character publicly.
People keep saying, how do we fix this? And you keep thinking, is this tragedy going to be the spark that gets us back together? Because
maybe
something is
maybe
wrong, and we need to come together. But how?
I wish I had that answer. Oh gosh, that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? I wish I knew. Prayer.
Oh yeah.
Pray. Stand up for your beliefs.
Oh yeah.
Don't back down. Don't listen to the propaganda.
Oh yeah.
Do your own research. Don't take one person's opinion as fact. Look into things for your own.
I probably have to be careful restreaming Vosh, right? Because he was banned on Twitch. He's not allowed on Twitch. Right? But he's looking at more interesting stuff right now. sorry, Hassan. Like Hassan is like tripping out about. He's like legitimately. You can tell he's legitimately shook, as well he should be. Absolutely, he's up there in the Charlie Kirk level of notoriety.
You were there.
Right.
You talked about it.
Right, and this lovely lady.
So let me just do this
here.
here.
I just said pray. I didn't realize that you guys were the news. I just said pray for Charlie, and she said, "Are you okay?" I don't know her, and she gave me a hug, and
that's not really
and I thanked her
appropriate
again for the hug because that's how we need to be. We need to be more loving and kind to our people.
Well, I can't fucking stand this kumbaya bullshit from people who are screeching about how we need to deport 20 million people.
Yeah, exactly.
From this country.
Yeah.
And like obliterate these families. Who cares, man? Bomb Venezuela, bomb Iran. Who cares about Palestinians? Doesn't matter. Homeless people should be fucking churned up and turned into mulch. Trans people should be forced back into the closet or like systemically denied health care.
Yeah. Now it's kumbaya.
20 million people
I agree.
deported. Supreme Court just made it legal to officially profile against black and brown people. None of it matters, you know?
All of us. It doesn't matter the color of your skin or.
Right.
Well, hold on. Listen. A Supreme Court ruling penned by Scalia just the other day actually disagrees.
Yeah.
It actually matters.
No, that's
like,
the thing is that it's an ideology of hate and exclusion.
It doesn't matter.
It's an ideology of violence. It's an idea. It's not any of these things that this woman is claiming. And that's what is that what they're going to try to do? Is claim. This is a movement of love. This is a movement of peace. That we want peace. We're doing this violence to create love and peace.
So Elisa, Kim, Bentley, West, just some of the people.
Fuck, did I say Scalia? Fuck, who penned the opinion? Sorry, I'm pulling from the void. I heard.
Yeah, Trailhead. Yeah, this might even make the history books. No doubt about it, Trailhead. This is definitely. I'm trying to think of in the last 10 years a more public assassination. I've seen assassinations of Mexican leaders in Mexico getting assassinated, stone cold, shot down. But in America, though, right? In America, I can't think of anybody who was stone cold gunned down outside. Like Gabby Giffords is the only example I can really come up with.
Just trying to get out after what they've talked to, but things do.
Oh God, yeah. Thank you, B. Ree. Of course, the two Democrats that were publicly assassinated. Of course. How dare I forget about them? But thank you so much, B. Ree. Yes, of course. That's a great example. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly. Perfect example. Boy, it really kind of went out like a wet fart. Huh? I didn't even remember them. But yeah, the two, but it wasn't so public. Like Trailhead said, that's one of the more public assassinations. Those Democratic politicians, they were assassinated in their homes. You know, we didn't get to see the nitty gritty. I mean, Charlie Kirk, though, dude, I mean, goddamn, I wasn't expecting to be watching snuff films today, to be straight up with you. Yeah, I mean, these are fair things to bring up about Charlie Kirk. This is the world he believed in. He believed in a world filled with guns.
And running very high. Describe to us what you're hearing there on campus.
Well, I apologize, B-Reed. Thank you for reminding me.
Tamara and Brooke, and we'll talk to some other witnesses in just a minute. But first, I want to show you where we are. We are on the west side of the Utah Valley University campus.
School shooting in Colorado right now, I guess. Well, it is the United States of America, so you can expect a couple of those a day.
There's a fucking school shooting going on right now as well.
Speaking when he was shot, and you can see behind there's an area where all
the American Comeback Tour. Wow. Wow. Hold on, let's see. We got a school shooting here. Like an hour ago. At least two students shot at Evergreen High School.
A spokesperson for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office to speak with reporters and therefore with the public here in just a little decades of experience, and somebody else, again, sadly, who is experienced in explaining these situations to the public after an act of mass violence at a school in Jefferson County. So our reporters are there with her, and we expect that briefing to happen in just a little bit.
Yeah, Charlie's getting more attention than dead children.
Bergen Meadow
dead kids.
Elementary at 1928 South Highwand Drive.
Yeah, Shadow, I've already reviewed it. It's in the Discord. Blood gushing. There's a slight chance that he might survive, though. There's a slight chance that it misses the spine, misses the esophagus. It hit right around here. Nailed the jugular. I mean, fucking nailed that jugular, baby. It was gushing.
Kyle, what would you expect?
But there's a chance he could live. So we're crossing our fingers.
And there's that initial sort of like, okay, what's going on? You probably get very basic.
Soon, Trailhead, soon.
Imagine you'd expect that.
Sure. I think, you know, the things that folks are going to be listening for is there a continuing threat to the community? Based on what we see, it does not appear that there is a continuing threat.
If you get, bulletproof, if you catch it early enough, right? The brain damage would come from blood loss. But if you catch that shit early enough, if you got doctors like right within earshot of you, plugging that shit up, right? And like not just a bunch of screaming civilians like, I don't know what to do. But if you got a medical professional sticking their finger in there, plugging that shit up right away, applying pressure, getting that blood circulation going, whatever's left of it.
Suspect in this shooting. Let's listen in now. This is Jackie Kelly from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office.
There's a chance he could live.
Shooting at Evergreen High School. The call came in at 12:24 today. That we had
not these kids though. These kids. There's no these kids are dead.
I can't name them, but it's like the metro area just responded. We have 3 people who have been transported to the hospital. Don't know conditions on any of them yet. Hopefully we'll have that for you shortly. What's really important for us to get out is reunification with parents and students. That's happening at Bergen Meadow Elementary. That's at 1928 South Highwand Drive. I don't have a lot more. Please ask questions if you have them.
Can you give me your name and title?
Yes, Jackie Kelly, Jacki. Kelly's Keley, PIO for the Jeffco Sheriff's Office. People that are injured are students. Yes.
There's a huge emergency response I noticed coming into town. What are you telling people who are seeing that worried right now?
I understand the worry and the concern. Like I said, the entire metro area came up here to help. A lot of them self-deployed, and we sure appreciate it because you don't know what you have until you get here. But there's got to be over 100, for sure, over 100, maybe a couple hundred cops here right now. We're still in the process of clearing the school, and we're doing that with multiple teams inside, room by room, and that just takes time.
I know this is in but the shooting happened inside of the...
More guns, more guns. And what would have Charlie? Everybody, put in the chat what you think Charlie Kirk would have tweeted about this. Say he wasn't shot today, and he finished his event, and then he hears the news about this, and he puts out a tweet about it. Go ahead and put in the chat what you think he would have tweeted. That doesn't justify his shooting, but it should highlight that Charlie Kirk advocated for a more violent world. Charlie Kirk advocated for more weapons and guns in, everyone have more weapons, everyone have more guns, let's lift regulations. And the argument against that, is, well, that makes society more violent. People will get shot. More people will get shot. And Charlie Kirk was okay with that because it wasn't him and it wasn't his people getting shot. So now that it's their people getting shot, guess what's going to come next, folks? They're going to start grabbing the fucking guns. We already had discussion about trans people, right? Exclusively being banned. But no, we're going to expand. Oh no, Jezebel, bad timing. Looks like Jezebel paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. They put this out September 8th? Yesterday? Oh, lordy. I think there's a good chance that he's dead, but I do think that there's a small chance that the bullet missed the spine, the bullet missed the esophagus, and that close medical professionals were there to plug up the jugular that was gushing like a river. It is possible. It is possible. Because like at first I thought from the distance, it looked like he died instantly, like the bullet hit the spine, disconnected. Watching the up close footage, I no longer think he was disconnected, right? Like when you shoot somebody in the brain. It does appear like he's still alive as he's falling, but he's in severe trauma. No, you can lose that much blood if you're right next to medical help. You can lose that much blood. The clip is about 5 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds, but it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing up close and personal. And by the way, there was a high quality camera point directly at this guy. No, look, I don't wish this upon my worst enemies. What do I wish upon my worst enemies? Jail time. I want my worst enemies who are criminals to be convicted of their crimes. Yeah, they have a prime suspect. It's this guy right here. This is the guy that they think that everyone feels pretty confident. This is the dude. I'm about 50-50. This guy's either I'm getting big conservative religious vibes, but I could also be getting big hippie liberal I'm against mass shootings vibes, because that's Charlie Kirk was shot directly after making a statement about mass shootings and equivocate. I think he was doing the classic black people are more responsible. He was probably in this thing actively blaming trans people for mass shootings. I'm about 50-50. There's a good chance that I'm 50-50 right winger, 50-50 left winger here, but this is the guy apparently. He sure does. He sure does look like he wants me to get off his fucking lawn, if you know what I'm saying. If it paralyzes him, he'll kind of get a life. He doomed other paralyzed people for advocating for Trump. Let's not fantasize about Schadenfreude, guys. Well, you guys go ahead and do it. I'm going to avoid doing that. I'm a political commentator. I need to show at least a little bit of professionalism here. Like I'm going to skibbity bebop all day long when Donald Trump kicks the bucket when he dies of natural causes, right? I would certainly not be skibbity bopping if he was assassinated. What do we got here? Female eunuchs, AP. Critical condition at a hospital after being shot. So that's the latest news, folks. Thank you, female eunuchs, for that link. I appreciate it, folks. The tolerant left, really? Really, we're going to do that? You have no idea this guy's left wing. Yeah, it looks like a left winger to me. Big left wing vibes off this guy over here. Looks like this guy would be sipping white wine on a yacht. There's a very real possibility this guy's a right winger. We have no idea. We have no idea. Yeah, you were bound to. That's what you want to think. It doesn't matter that over 90% of the mass shootings are done by right-wingers. See all of them cry. I'm not going to waste my time with you guys. I really am not. We're going to, we're already doing this. Really, you're already bored. You're already bored going into other channels spreading bullshit and propaganda. Really, we're already doing this. You have no idea who he is. You have no idea the motivations. Right. Oh, it's the left. It's the left. It's the left. It's the left. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. Thank you, female eunuchs, for reminding me. He's sensitive about his bald head, about his shiny bald head.
But I'm grateful that if somebody did, they deserve high praise. One shot hit Charlie. One shot.
Here, this is a video of the alleged shooter.
Was that you? We don't know if it's him or not.
He says, we don't know if it's him or not.
Shoot me. Guys, that looks like a right-winger, yo. I'm sorry. That looks like a fucking right-winger.
It makes no fucking sense. Yeah, he says, shoot me, while he's being taken away by law enforcement.
Shadow, I don't think it's really great to be... You think it's cool to torture people?
Where's the gun? We don't know anything.
So you think the epidemic of prison rape that happens in America is a good thing? Do you think that's a good punishment for somebody getting raped in prison? Shadow, is that what you think? That the American prison system is it's a good thing? He's not going to prison, he's white. Right. It usually you don't know that. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. So I just want to make sure that you support prison rape.
The Deseret News article is probably not as up to date if they're saying the suspect is not in custody, because everything that I've seen so far from mainstream outlets has been that the suspect is in custody.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that is not the suspect, considering that that's what the media is presenting it as. Obviously, we are going to be awaiting some kind of report from the police that will give us more details.
I don't know about Life Changer. I really don't know about Life Changer, because the right-wing ideology is still an incredibly violent one. Committing violence every single day, intends to commit more violence against the American people, against democracy, against liberty. There will be those chanting martyr for Charlie Kirk, and there will be those using him as a rallying call. But as the Conservative Party continues to take and destroy and hurt, I don't think people are going to allow themselves to feel sympathy for an overt fascist, which Charlie Kirk was. It's rape, just torture, like less food, solitary shit like that. All right, okay. As long as you make it clear that when you're talking about your support of the prison industrial complex, you're not talking about supporting the massive problem of the epidemic, really, of rape within the prison industrial complex.
This as a totally separate thing, as though this is the type of violent incident that is,
No, I know you're going to go ahead and click report anyway. You're probably going from stream to stream to stream, just doing that. But no, I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again. The stream does not support political violence. I always argue against it. I always argue against how counterproductive it is. So no, the stream doesn't support the assassination of people, even if I despise them politically, even if they are dangerous fascists like Charlie Kirk was, or maybe still is. But no, I don't support political assassinations. Go ahead, find a different stream to report erroneously. It seems like you guys are bored. Like, I don't know, maybe you got bored watching Asmongold for like an hour and a half, and now you're going from stream to stream to stream. Oh, it was a left-winger, huh? Left-winger, right? Left-winger, definitely a left-winger. We got to do something about these left-wingers, huh? Oh, what, you support it, huh? Report. You support it, huh? You support it. Right? How about you scurry back to Asmongold's, under his desk to eat his boogers or something?
The old dude isn't the shooter.
That's not very
according to
funny.
New York Times.
I got to come up with funnier insults.
New York Times confirms that the person in custody is not the shooter. I'm so confused.
Okay, come on.
So the person is not in custody? What?
No. They got the shooter. They got the fucking shooter. No, this is just that 24-hour, 24-second news cycle bullshit. No, they got the
University
motherfucker.
had earlier said a suspect was in custody.
He pulled out a gun and blasted dude. Okay, they got the guy. Do you happen to know whether right or left wingers tend to be more violent? Yeah, John Axel. Gee, I wonder. I feel very confident. I know for a fact that right wingers commit a majority of the mass shootings that happen in America. It's right wingers. I feel confident saying that. Yeah, Simply Steve. Let's go ahead. I mean, we don't really have any more information. I will do a follow-up about this school shooting.
But we can show you what we're seeing.
So it looks like at least 3 people were shot. We might be lucky here, and maybe they're not dead.
Ambulances that are marked evergreen.
Shadow, no. It sounded loud, but it sounded like a pistol. It sounded like a pistol. It did not. The way that the old man was dressed here. I guess if it is the guy, and I'm pretty sure it's the guy, but no, it seemed like a pistol, not an AR. I saw it. It was 200 yards away. Really? So he might have had a rifle, huh? I thought he was up close and personal. I thought he got him up close and personal. So I don't want to spread. It doesn't really matter, right? Because we need to regulate all guns. And we need to start with the banning of assault weapons, right? Ooh, trigger. Oh, no. Thoughts and prayers will fix it. Thoughts and prayers. We got to ban assault weapons. I'm not for the banning of pistols and shotguns, but I do think we need to be banning assault rifles. Well, what classification? What specific rifle? You need to tell me what's the serial number of the rifle that you want to ban, or else I don't think you know what you're talking about. Sorry, I'm not going to give you every specific make and model. You know what I'm talking about. Assault weapons. We need to ban them. So this was a 200-yard shot, huh? I have seen no footage, no video or footage of the shooter actually shooting. I've only seen footage of Charlie getting hit. Yeah, but I don't know much about I thought it was a pistol, so that was just my assumption. I was literally assuming it, so I could very well be wrong.
The police, according to the New York Times, posted 5 minutes ago, the police have determined that a person who was taken into custody is not actually the shooter. The university had earlier said a suspect was in custody.
Agreed.
Okay, so it's not that old guy. Oh, shit. That means that it's not an old white guy, or at least not necessarily an old white guy.
Let me just kind of show you just traffic right here. You can see traffic completely still backed up.
Poor son
Everybody's
of a bitch.
still trying to get out of this location here. But you heard the stories there, one after another. Just these are students that are just right there in the middle of
it. May or may not be fake news that the guy that we got. Okay. All right. It's fine. This is what reporting on things without knowing what anything is happening looks like. So that's fine. Watch, it's a trans person. It's like a super duper trans person. Oh, God, no. No, please, no. No. Am I going to have to start hiding trans people in my fucking house like the fucking Underground Railroad or something? Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, Dan Rascon reporting live from the Utah Valley University campus there. And just to update you with the latest information that we've received, the AP reporting that Charlie Kirk is in a hospital in critical condition at this time.
The AP also reporting a few more details at the moment of impact. They
we know,
Charlie
Shadow.
Kirk.
We knew the moment you walked in, you were a right-wing jackass, okay? Suck a fucking chode, all right? Sandy Hook wasn't enough for you to ban assault weapons. Nothing will be, right? You agree with Charlie Kirk and the evil that he would spread, right? Even though he was gunned down with the very weapons that you worship. We know. Nothing will break through your shell of stupidity, right? I know. Well, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do everything I can politically to destroy your movement, to seed society with deadly weapons And then what? Blame it on gay people or something? Is that the plan, jackass? Ignorant son of a bitch. I love all weapons. Literally showing footage of a school fucking shooting, yet another, while talking about a fucking assassination. I love all weapons. You gotta be fucking with me.
None of us knew what was going on. I was just in class. Someone heard a stampede of people running down the hallway.
Shut the fuck up, Shadow. Get the fuck out of here.
Immediately. They lock the doors, just go in. There's been a shooting.
How were you feeling in those moments?
I think we were all terrified. I mean, yeah, I was very terrified. I didn't know what was going on. I just wanted more information.
Get the fuck out.
Now, there are people who have talked about, I wish there were metal detectors and,
maybe
some more safety measures.
Look, if left wing is being against mass shootings and political assassinations, then fucking sign me up, left winger. Oh, what about Charlie? Oh, that's so tragic. That's so tragic. Let me make sure that I double down on this and don't do a single thing about the sources of the problem that created this. Charlie Kirk was assassinated because society is seeded with weapons, and he's an he worships the ideology of evil. Charlie Kirk, he wanted society to be less safe. No civil conversations. Yeah, while you watch a school shooting and say let's not ban guns, but let's be civil. Oh, let's be civil. Let's be civil, guys. School shootings are the new normal. Political assassinations are the new normal, guys. Let's be civil about the conversation now. Don't politicize it, please. You're pathetic. And you're losing. Dude, you're losing. Your own people are getting shot up because of your ideology. Your own fucking people getting killed. Well, I don't know, guys. Who was it that was almost assassinated in a similar manner? Oh, yeah, Donald fucking Trump.
Thank you, bitch.
Oh, I love weapons. I love my weapons. I stick them up my butt. Oh, it feels really good. I get them all up in there nice and warm and tight. I feel so safe. I don't give a shit. I'm going to do everything I can politically to, yes, take that gun from you. Assault weapon. And remember, I said assault weapon specifically. I don't think we should ban pistols or shotguns because old people need to worry about getting the door kicked in because Republicans have made the world less safe. Deregulating everything. Crime out of fucking control. Show me crime. Show me your average crime statistic in a city run by right-wingers. Right? Alabama. Good example. Murder rate through the fucking roof over there in Houston, Texas. Oh, is that no. Sweet home Alabama. Where is Alabama? Alabama's a state, isn't it? You get the point though. Crime statistics are through the roof if the place is governed by right-wingers. Crime statistics are up. Shootings are up. Violence up when places are run by right-wingers. And their laissez-faire, deregulate everything attitude. Guns have more rights than people attitude. There's more shootings. Memphis, Tennessee, another great example. Gun violence through the fucking roof. It's because of right-wing ideology. And now your own people are getting shot up, and you want to lazily look at some trans people? Okay, I'm not wasting a single. Yeah. See, are you serious? Yeah, yes, he is serious. Yes. Why can't teachers have guns? I don't even know if they're serious, right? I don't even know if they're serious or trolling, but that's all I need to hear. Let's make society less safe. Let's put a gun in the hand of a 60-year-old English teacher. Gunfights in the elementary school, right? Let's not do anything about mental health. Let's, in fact, defund mental health. Let's remove red flag laws that prevent mentally ill people from buying weapons. Let's get rid of those, right? And let's make sure anybody, no matter what the condition that they're in mentally or whatever, can walk into a fucking Kmart and buy a high caliber weapon that can kill dozens of human beings as quickly as they can pull the trigger. Their own people getting assassinated, and what do they say? More guns, more guns, more guns, more guns. They're getting what they want, folks. They're getting what they want.
Is still racing and probably still replaying what it is you saw and heard.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's definitely really traumatic, and I didn't really realize how shocked and traumatized I was until, I mean, at least 30 minutes after. I was really, you know, I just couldn't stop crying, and I mean, it's so sad and it's so evil.
Wow, that's wild. So this is the guy that Charlie was debating with right there. How bizarre. What a weird story. You know, you're debating with a guy about mass shootings. This is probably a left-winger. Debating Charlie Kirk about a violent society, how we need to do something about guns. Yeah, I guess he won. I mean, the ultimate dub, right? The ultimate zinger debates. It's beyond ironic that this is how Charlie Kirk dies. Like as a debate zing. Because he finishes his statement, right? He finishes. It's most likely a lie, made up stats about how, you know, black people commit more violence or whatever. But like we want to do something about guns. We want to make guns harder to get by mentally ill people so that they can't commit this violence. I wonder if that was the position of this guy. And then the dude gets fucking murked right in front of his face, man. He should have just stood up, mic drop.
Yeah, I'm just glad nobody else got hurt, but big prayers out to
wow. So he picks up the mic, makes his little retort.
Charlie Kirk and his family.
His gun down.
And from your description, Sarah, it sounds like you were sitting fairly close to the front.
Yeah, I was in the 4th row back. That's when I saw him just get hit right in the neck, lower neck, and just blood spurting out all over. It was awful.
You had come here,
she said with a massive smile on her face. That's kind of weird.
To this event to hear.
There are reports that he's dead. That's a tweet. If there's an actual report, let me see it.
On a Wednesday morning.
Not that I would be surprised by the news.
I have classes today, or did have classes. I had my morning class, and afterwards I went to see Charlie Kirk. I mean, he's an awesome guy. I agree with all of his political stances, and I was really excited to see him, especially at my own university. So yeah, just going out there to support him before my next class, and what a traumatizing experience.
They exist, B-Ree. These, you know, Charlie Kirk was one of the most preeminent fascists. You know, with TPUSA converting young people into being enthusiastic fascists. He was one of the top ones doing it. All of his political stances, you're woke. Anything I don't like is woke.
Best for them.
And finally, Sarah, what about you personally? Because witnessing something like this, I can only imagine. I have not witnessed something like that. And so, where do you go from here, and what do you think about as you process this tragic day?
Yeah, good question. I'm definitely going to.
The conservative movement that currently has full control of the government is objectively fascistic and authoritarian. Charlie Kirk fully supported it and, in fact, supported going farther. Charlie Kirk objectively is an authoritarian fascist. Him being assassinated does not change his political ideology. The one that he was spreading, he created TPUSA to get young children, young kids, teenagers, and college-age students, getting them indoctrinated into right-wing ideology. And what do we see from right-wing ideology? The complete dismantlement of democracy, the complete dismantlement of the Justice Department. So no, I'm not gonna mince words about who Charlie Kirk was because he was politically assassinated. By the way, politically assassinated with gun violence that Charlie Kirk wanted to expand upon. All right, we're getting confirmations that he is officially dead. R Factor over here reporting on that. We'll see. Let's let it hit the news.
People, especially when there were deep feelings about Charlie Kirk. A lot of people love Charlie Kirk, and to see this happen in front of
this
them,
isn't
was just unbelievable to them.
You know, the right, what I've noticed so far of the chatters, it's right-wingers, strangers to the stream, people who've never come in here who are right-wing, who are immediately politicizing it, ironically, by saying, let's not politicize it, when it's obviously political. Okay, when Charlie Kirk he was a political weapon. He turned himself, crafted himself into a political weapon, and was quite effective. He's one of the most effective fascists. Used to be one of the most effective fascists in the United States, implementing a fascist agenda. Project 2025. Wasn't he one of the guys that tweeted, "Ha, Project 25, we meant everything. We're absolutely going to be implementing Project 2025." And yeah, we covered the school shooting in Colorado. So I'm not going to mince words about who Charlie Kirk was and what he stood up for, because he stood for authoritarian fascism. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
It's just like a sea of people just trying to get out of there. And yeah, there's videos you can see online. There's just everyone's coming out full speed.
Yeah, don't be shaming B-Ree. She doesn't have to feel any way that she feels.
It was crazy.
So, you know, mind your own business. B-Ree's allowed to feel exactly how she wants to feel.
A lot of things were going through my mind.
Yeah, Mr. Kingdom Hearts boy. Yeah, that was a snuff film right there. No doubt about it. Blood Red Republic, fuck you and fuck the world that you're creating for us. You're the reason why society is getting more violent, okay? It's not gay people trying to live their lives. Okay? Blood Red Republic. Look at your name. Your name is literally an incitement to right-wing violence. Literally your name. Blood Red Republic. This is what you want. You're creating this. This is what you want. Your fucking name is Blood Red. Jesus Christ. Your name is, you might as well be dismantled in democracy. How dare you get offended that I would even dare, I defend this republic to my life. But my name is End Democracy, ironically, or something. I don't know. That just seems to be what we're doing these days. Pathetic. I think, you know what I think? I think it's gay liberals that's doing the problem. That's why I worship the Blood Red Republic. I need to stress this. This society, the one that we have right fucking now, is a right-wing conservative society. The things that make us less safe, the things that make society more violent, are right-wing ideas, are the cause of right-wing policies. They desperately want to blame this on the left, right? Make this a left-wing, like, crisis, right? It's the crisis of the left. As soon as we get rid of all the wokies, we get rid of all the liberals, then our society will stop being so violent. Ironically, if they were to achieve that goal, there's the society that would be left, that they would build after all the Democrats and lefties are in prison, would be an incredibly violent, pedophilic society. We're not entertaining this. They're like immediately the right wingers before they know anything. Before they know anything about anything, it's already left wing did it. Left wing did it. Left wing did it. Left wing did it. I'm not going to say, you know what? You see what I mean? And they're like immediately making it political, immediately weaponizing it, right? I want to get you banned. I want to get you banned. Say that you agree with political assassination. I want to get you banned. Immediately weaponizing, immediately politicizing. They don't know anything. They know as much as we do. They're already jumping around to political streams, weaponizing and politicizing this. And it's more like more violence, more gun violence. That's what we advocate for. You're the weak ones. You're the ones that are ruining society, right? They see a footage. I'm done with you. You get the fuck out of here, man. I'm absolutely fuck. Wait a minute. Hold on. All right. Okay. I'll leave you alone for now. B-Ree, you let me know.
That report, but that's the latest on the status of what they had reported earlier.
Wow. And again, Charlie Kirk reportedly shot in the neck while visiting UVU during his Prove Me Wrong tour.
Utah House speaker confirmed death, huh? Okay, the streamers haven't caught up yet. Let's see if we can, maybe I'm just not live here. No. Yeah. No, I mean, you have a right to believe and think how you want it. You're a citizen, right? If you don't want to shed tears for Charlie Kirk, you don't want to feel bad for Charlie Kirk, even in the context of leftist politics, that's up to you. You're a citizen. You can do what you want. I'm a political commentator. I need to make very clear that, one, I don't believe in political violence solving things, right? It doesn't solve things. Maybe it feels good, but it doesn't solve things. This is going to set leftists back. Even if the guy who did it was a hardcore right-winger, this is going to hurt leftists. Because, look, as we've seen, they weaponize it immediately, right? They politicize it immediately. Left, right, they don't know anything about who the shooter was or what the motivations were, but they already know how to weaponize it. Charlie Kirk has passed.
The cops rushing up, the helicopters flying in. I just saw videos afterwards. It was probably too.
Charlie Kirk, I mean, Newsmax. Not Newsmax,
we got Real
America's
America
Voice,
over here. Yeah,
is
agenda free.
Away.
Okay.
Trump is talking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. This guy didn't even see the incident, by the way. He just saw it on the news. Okay,
He's dead.
It's no
Dude
different than like
dead.
asking someone like,
Yeah,
any
I mean,
number
Kingdom
of
Hearts
different
boy,
chatters in here.
exactly.
People got
no. I mean, this is the result of gun violence being normalized. This is the result of gun violence not being punished, of regulations being lifted, right? People getting access to high caliber, deadly weapons. Right? It's the number one cause of death for children in the United States. These weapons. Obviously the left did it. You have no proof. I'm literally sorry, guys. I know you want to like shit on these right wingers that are like hopping around political streams to weaponize this assassination immediately, but I'm not going to waste my time with them, okay? I'm not going to waste my time with them. To be clear, my stance on banning guns, I've made it clear earlier, but, ban assault weapons, shotguns and pistols should be legal until society becomes more safe. I do not support political assassinations. I do not support political assassinations. I find them to be counterproductive to our goals as a leftist movement. So once again, I do not support political assassinations, but I'm not going to, once again, am I going to sit here and not say that Charlie Kirk wasn't a fascist? He was a proud, overt, authoritarian fascist who did everything in his power to convert people into his fascist ideology and fully supported our current fascist government.
I think a lot of people are just basically running off of they want to be first to market. I'm not giving you a full confirmation until we see it, okay?
Yeah, let's see it.
I don't know what just the news is. Like OSIN accounts and things like that are utterly irrelevant in this. They could be
That's a Chat GPT question, man. You either have the wherewithal to look up this information yourself. What do you think? Where do you think the guns come from, idiot? What are they cooking it up? Like crack? Mac 10s and AR-15s? Pistols with big old drum mags? They buy them from stores.
All we know is he's in critical condition at the moment right now. That's the last piece of verifiable evidence that's come out. Wow. I know that Charlie Kirk's own news broadcaster, conservative online channel Real America's Voice, is saying that he's dead, but
he's dead. Dude is dead. I mean, that was a nasty, nasty fucking shot.
I'm not going to I'm not going to rush to that conclusion.
And here we go, guys. Here we fucking go with the politicization immediately, right? Oh, it's black people, it's poor people, it's gangbangers. Well, you're going to start talking about their fucking fathers next? Okay? We got to do something about the guns. Stop with your fucking excuses. It's pathetic at this point. Your own fucking people are getting popped live on stage. And you're still like, well, maybe the solution is to give everybody in the crowd a gun.
Save an individual, but so many factors at play medically in terms of
Stop the
GSW
madness.
triage.
Waste somebody else's time before I give you the goddamn boot. Shut the fuck up. I'm just asking. That's it. You're gone. I'm just asking questions, guys. I don't believe in anything, but I'm just asking questions. Get the fuck out of here. Time wasting motherfucker.
The New York
Time
Post White House
wasting
reporter
motherfuckers.
asked Trump about it, and he spoke about him in the past tense.
The fuck out of here, you
Not
amateur.
good. He was a very, very good friend of mine, and he was a tremendous person. That's what he said. How do they have so much security, but
I don't have an
they
opinion.
can't find
I'm just
the
asking
shooter?
questions.
I don't know. Because, I mean, if someone is capable of
Especially
shooting
a victim
from
of a school shooting.
a distance like
No,
that,
that's not
and
funny.
they hadn't accounted for any sort of like counter snipers or anything like that, which, of course, there's no expectation that they should. Why should they? You know, this is not the fucking president.
Look, we don't need to talk about like how they procure them because we have evidence that when other countries ban them, the problem goes away. The problem of violence doesn't go away. The problem of poverty doesn't go away, of course. But the problem of mass slaughter from one person with one type of tool goes away. We saw it in Australia, Norway after Breivik. We know it works. Right? We don't need to have these small little quibbles about, oh, well, they get it somewhere. They're not going to, we can't ban things because they'll get them anyway. We know it works. Definitely JFK vibes. I mean, it's like gruesome like JFK was. Like you see, like, you know, you see his fucking brains fall out, JFK. Like you see that shit,
Reasonable
dude.
conclusion to make if you have seen, if you saw the close-up shot of him being shot in the neck.
Wrong. I don't know who the fuck, I don't know how to say the fuck your name is, but you're wrong. Both sides nihilism is not accepted here. Okay? Giving up, both sides are wrong. Both sides bad. No, that's not good enough. Get the fuck off the sidelines. Start participating. Start fighting back. Pick a side and start fighting. Don't give me this both sides bullshit in the chat, however you say your name, whatever that is.
AP is reporting that there is a new suspect.
Hey, Galtz, how many school shootings in Australia in the last 10 years?
Suspect that was taken in? Where did you see that? 2 minutes ago, it says person taken into custody after Charlie Kirk was shot in Utah is
Once
not
again,
believed to
asking
be
you a
the shooting.
question. How many school shootings in Australia the last 10 years? I assume you don't, I guess you don't care about dead kids in schools, the number one killer of kids in America. How many school shootings in Australia the last 10 years?
Yeah.
We need to regulate guns. And when I talk about
Yes,
regulate,
his Wikipedia page is updated.
it doesn't matter how many, you notice how it doesn't matter how many times I say I don't want to ban shotguns and pistols? That the argument is always you want to ban everything. Because the only way that pro-gun people have any kind of argument is if you're trying to ban literally everything like machetes and knives. Right? That's the only argument that they have. Well, you're gonna ban everything. What's next? You're gonna ban hammers? Machetes, you know, the thing is with machete, it's like, I don't know, do you live in the woods? You know, like if you live in the woods, you should probably have a machete exception, right? Because you need a machete if you're getting through the woods, right? So is that liberal overreach? Maybe. I don't even know if it's happening. It could very well be a lie from a right-wing idiot. But we know regulation works. We know taking guns out of the society equals less gun deaths. We know that's what happens. And they want to have little battles. They want to have little fights, little fights about this and that. But like I said, the number one thing that they always do is that they falsely equivocate whatever you're saying as a full ban on everything, a full ban on melee weapons, right? That's, everything that you say has to be a complete, Nazi-like, take away everything. Ironically, the right wing is probably going to be taking away all the guns. My guns, but I voted Trump. Don't I get to keep one gun? No, Trump says you're not allowed to have guns anymore. Sorry, jackass. Way to vote him in. But the only way they can have an argument is by being hyperbolic and dishonest. You could say, I only want to ban an AK-47, and they'll say you want to ban all weapons. See, exactly. See what I mean? It doesn't matter. These guys are lunkheads. They're complete fucking idiots. Right. Well, thank you for your time, Galtz, and thank you for making my point for me. Enjoy the fucking sewer. Enjoy the sewer. I'm flushing you down. You go away. When I click this button, bye. Watch my ass get fucking assassinated now. I get fucking Charlie Kirked over here.
Ed Ingementum says this is the one case where far right new media outlets are going to have the info quicker than the mainstream news, and they're all saying that he's dead.
Yeah, German Cow, great example, by the way. Yeah, it's projection.
That's
what
I
they
know
want
that
to
they're
do to
all
us.
saying that he's dead. Trump is speaking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. I'm not going to give you an official confirmation until there is an official confirmation.
He dead, dude.
That's it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. He dead. He fucking dead. And it's not a good thing. And it's not a good thing for the left. The left, it's not a good thing. School shooting still happening, by the way. I don't know how many people died in that. But no, he dead, dude. I know, Lenny. Welcome back, everybody, by the way. It's good to see you, Lenny. No, this is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for leftists. It's not a good thing for political discourse. Okay? It's counterproductive. We can defeat fascism without this. We actually can. Right? It's more effective to just literally stay at home and, engage in a work strike, like a general strike, and stay at home and fucking, eat chips all day. That's more effective than a political assassination, not showing up to work in mass, right, at the same time. That's going to create way more political change than an assassination. So I don't believe in political assassinations. I don't think they work. Obviously there's examples throughout history of political assassinations changing the political dynamic, and then maybe it eventually leads to something that might be considered positive. But it's way too fucking risky, and it's a slippery ass slope to be staking a moral high ground against violence, to be staking a moral high ground against genocide, like the left wants to do, and we do, but then advocating for political violence. Right? It's like, well, that requires like a World War II like situation, right? To make any sense. To be against violence, but then to advocate for violence.
Is a friend of Charlie Kirk. So at some point we will obviously hear from him as well as the afternoon moves into the evening. But there is no one like Charlie Kirk in terms of his assistance getting President Trump reelected, and that was clear.
We don't want Charlie Kirk the martyr. We don't want Charlie Kirk the martyr. Now, let's not get too crazy, because like I said, the right-wing movement is now going to use this to further hurt people, to further turn up the dial. The economy still, Charlie Kirk getting assassinated changes nothing about the economy that's in complete fucking tatters. All right, that people are suffering from and will continue to suffer from even worse in the coming weeks and months. So like the damage that the right-wing movement continues to be incredibly hard, and people are going to be feeling the ramifications every day. I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk buys the right-wing movement a couple days of reprieve at most. But is this going to stop people from hating the right wing, from hating Donald Trump, from trying to invade Chicago, right? For hating Donald Trump, for declaring himself a king, basically, for, infecting the Supreme Court with right-wing partisans who allow him to do anything. I don't think any of that actually changes with most Americans. Like, are we just going to stop fighting fascism because we disagree with Charlie Kirk being assassinated? Yeah, woke patriot. Yeah, I mean, if you have the tool, unless the school is a fortress, and they talk about let's make schools into fortresses, but are they going to pay the hundreds of the trillions of dollars it would cost to turn every school in America into a fucking StarCraft style fucking, military bunker? No, of course not. Survive after seeing the news, after seeing the video. Unfortunately, people dying are not the answer. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement. Bolin Megabyte.
Because it's Charlie Kirk, someone who I have, who I know personally.
You're allowed to feel how you want to feel.
Fond of his worldview, obviously, but someone who I have debated in public settings.
You're 100% allowed to feel like that, Zokora. Yep. So he's back to himself. He's back to talking about himself. Once again, I agree with Hassan's assessment that he should take a chill pill of public appearances maybe for the rest of the year, right? Just take a chill pill. But wow, he does certainly he does certainly bring it up quite a bit. I think he's shook. I think he's legitimately emotionally shook and scared and probably a little traumatized after seeing, someone that he's interacted with closely. He's probably shook the guy's hand and all that, and watching that guy's jugular open up in front of you is pretty fucking crazy.
I mean,
whoa. What are you doing, man? What are we doing here, Hassan?
They're hosting a press conference. When is this starting?
Yeah, less than a year after Luigi. Yeah, and once again, hey, if you were here for Luigi, even though I do make the Luigi jokes, but I definitely disagreed with that. It hasn't, has it helped? Has it helped change? This situation, or has it been more effective as a right-wing tool? I don't know. With Luigi, it's kind of interesting because he has kind of turned into a symbol of resistance against, like it or not, he has kind of turned into that in the public's eye. I still disagree with it though, because I want to see the United Healthcare CEO in jail. I want to see the 60 Minutes interview of him behind bars admitting to, yeah, no, I was responsible for implementing a system that rejected, rejected people, tens of thousands. And the main motivation was so that I could get more rich. Like, I want to see that guy in jail, I don't want to see him shot up, United Healthcare CEO. I think Kirk is dead, dude.
He's dead. Charlie Kirk is killed.
Fuck, man. Fuck. This is not good for us. This is not good for the left. They're gonna They're gonna weaponize this against this man. And yeah, I feel bad for his children, 100%. Yeah. Even though they're going to be little mini Charlie Kirks,
this is
and spread his ideology.
Insane.
It's tragic. This is tragic. It was really only a matter of time though, right?
It's fucking so crazy.
Yeah, we're all kind of speechless here. Yeah, this is pretty fucking nuts. This is legit because I don't know. Look at Hassan. He's got his fucking gun right there in the back. He's got an AR-15 right there. Right.
This is from Trump's official Truth Social, by the way.
Because I agree. Like if the Second Amendment's going to be, if it's gun anarchy, leftists need to defend themselves and deserve to defend themselves. So we should arm ourselves, the left. We shouldn't just, voluntarily disarm and let the right wing have more weapons than us. But, we also, if like we should be trying to take over politics so that we can throw our gun away and do it with pride. Or is that an airsoft? Okay. It looks like a real fucking gun there. So maybe he doesn't believe in that. I believe in that. I don't think we should voluntarily disarm until we, you know.
This is crazy.
Until we have a setup that everyone is like, you know, agreed upon.
I don't know if Trump is the best source. No, he is the best source. What are you talking about? Dude, as
fuck no.
As insane as the as crazy as the things are, it would be Trump that announces that he's dead. That is the most Trump administration thing that could have possibly happened.
I believe that we should restrict guns as society gets more safe. So right now we need to start, society has never been more violent. We need to start with the AR-15s, and it might have been an AR-15 that was used in this assassination. But we shouldn't continue with restricting and regulating, by the way, regulating guns until we do something about the mental health crisis, because we got old people getting attacked. We got, you know, people getting mugged. We got people getting raped. People deserve, they have the right to defend themselves. But as society gets more safe, we should consider banning more and more deadly weapons. We have to start somewhere, though. We have to start right now. And where we need to start, obviously, is with assault weapons. Just like the one that Hassan, just like the one that I thought Hassan had right here. Like, we should start right here. You know?
And he was 31 years old. He had two very small children, 3 and 1 ages, I believe. He is someone who was very
we got to do something about the mental, because violence doesn't go away unless we do something about the mental health. And even after we've done something about the mental health issue, violence still won't go away if we want to live in a free society. Don't be eating your fucking fingernails on screen, you disgusting man. Thought this guy was supposed to be sexy.
It's a very somber mood here. People are very upset. It's not just at the White House, it's really among Republicans as a whole. The Republican Party has become the party of Trump, the MAGA movement, and Charlie Kirk was really at the heart of all of that.
Kirk's spokesman says Kirk is dead.
With a huge portion of Trump's win in 2024. Wow. He was on the ground. He created an entire system.
I thought I was going to be talking about pedophiles today. Did they get the shooter? They got the shooter, but they might have misidentified him initially. We initially thought it was some old guy like this old dude up here. I closed the tweet, but we might have the identity of the shooter all wrong. But I think they do have him.
To the MAGA base, he brought it to the president's
Apparently in Utah, permits aren't required and it's open carry. Well, there you fucking go.
Charlie had his finger on the pulse.
There you fucking go.
Base more than even some of his own cabinet officials. He had a huge following and again was so close to the family, to President Trump himself. Okay. And one of the things I continue to bring up is the fact that
I heard some people say this was a distraction on Epstein.
Of the administration. But the ultimate decision was that he was more influential, had more power outside
I did see some people
of being in a government position. He had been in Washington a number of times. He had been here with his family. He went to swearing-ins of numerous officials.
Bro, how the fuck do they not have the shooter? I can't comprehend
this. They don't have the shooter.
Okay, one of the most televised events. Okay, this is an incident on a college campus. Everyone's got a fucking smartphone. Everyone, I guess the shooter shot from a distance, but god damn, dude, that is crazy.
I'm shocked.
That is crazy. He's over. Oh,
it's over.
I don't like.
No, so they arrested some people. What is
going to happen in the aftermath of this?
They arrested a guy that was like, "Just shoot me, just shoot me." What about the "just shoot me" guy? Just some random guy who just has his own separate mental health issue yelling, "Just shoot me."
Actually going to also make,
or was he talking about Trump?
This Truth Social post.
Was he having a mental breakdown?
Still with everyone close to Charlie. Charlie's.
Because that was going on. He was having a complete fucking mental breakdown. He was like, God, just shoot me instead. You know, protect Charlie. Protect Charlie. God, that's pathetic. But, I mean, maybe that's what was going on.
Within the administration who are close to President Trump who just can't wrap their head around what happened earlier today.
Yeah, I already,
of course,
I know.
Of
The New York Times reported
stand
saying,
by for us as we continue to cover this story. I want to bring
Careful
back
with your comments,
our Scott
Bulletproof.
Jennings. Scott,
the New York
first of all,
Times
I'm sorry,
posted what I said after he got shot. I know.
Somebody that you knew.
He got posted
What
by
are
New
your
York Times. That's got to be weird.
On his life, his legacy in this moment.
Well, Charlie
that's got to be
was one of the
weird.
most unique and
Yo, I don't want to hear what fucking Scott Jennings has to say about literally fucking anything. I'd literally fucking I want to die every time I see the man's face. We're not doing Scott Jennings.
Everybody else. Any of your actions or your path forward in your mind, has that kind of changed, or has the trajectory changed, being that this happened? I mean, you're in high school. I mean, are you thinking about, okay, what precautionary measures do I need to take if I decide to go to college around here?
These fucking questions. These fucking questions. Wikipedia edited, officially confirmed. Jesus Christ. I think what I would like to focus on is how does the left defend itself from what we know is what we're literally already seeing it in the chat, right? Pack the man, perfect timing, but we're already seeing it in the chat. Right wingers, you know, it's the left. The left is the reason why this is happening. We got to do something about the left. And we have to, at the very least, rhetorically be ready to say, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is the kind of scary shit that we're really worried about. And this is why we want to have serious adult conversations about regulation of firearms. And, of course, funding mental health care help for everybody, which is incredibly expensive. It would cost hundreds of billions of dollars for everybody to see a shrink in the United States. Maybe trillions, right? Shrinks aren't cheap. Even the cheap ones aren't cheap. I don't know. See, that's the thing. You know, catalyst for civil war. Who's going to be dying for Charlie Kirk? I don't see that happening, right? But also, like I said, this right-wing authoritarian machine is going to continue to hurt people, right? It's still what it is. You know, it's still an abject failure, a complete, you know, joke that is getting people killed daily. We're talking the CDC over here deregulating vaccine technology that saved hundreds of millions of lives globally, et cetera, et cetera. So, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's going to buy the right wing a couple days of, you know, of peace and quiet, maybe relatively peace and quiet, right? Before everything, because like ICE is going to continue to kidnap people. That's not slowing down. Alligator Alcatraz was supposed to close. Now it's reopened. They're reopening a fucking prison in California in anticipation for all the arrests that they're going to be doing in California. One piece of good news is that the Trump administration, seemingly, I was going to report on this today, but Pam Bondi is seemingly backing off from invading Chicago. We might be seeing, you know, something along the lines where they're just like, well, this is, you know, we want to do a takeover of the city. We want to do a, you know, big show of force, but it's going to be such a big incident that we're going to chicken out. So we might see, you know, fighting back actually working, maybe, in Chicago.
It's just going to be like this forever. God damn it.
Shock. They are just, you know, trying to grapple with what's going on. But I will send it back to you.
Jesus Christ, Bulletproof.
Also reporting live for us from the UVU campus.
I mean, it's beyond irony. It really is beyond irony. And South Park would have the biggest balls in the world if they covered this, if they did something about this. They would have the biggest nutsack in the world. But it is beyond ironic that he was literally talking about gun violence and probably like literally making excuses, right? And downplaying it and saying, oh, it's actually black people's fault or gay people's fault. You know, he was probably doing his usual propaganda shtick, right? It's the left, it's the gays, it's the blacks. Great replacement theory, right?
That level.
Whoa, content
that
stealing.
someone who engaged
I know. Sorry, I got to find something else. Sorry, I'll find something else. It is distracting.
And provoked those to share ideas, and violence has apparently taken his life.
Dog, look at my left-leaning media.
Here we go.
Look at what people say is like the left-wing equivalent of Fox News.
According to President Trump. Tom?
Yeah, you know, Kelly, we have covered politics, you and I, for a while now, and I don't know if we have seen, as you described it, a season of political violence like this, starting in Butler with the assassination attempt on President Trump that came so very close, just inches away.
Okay, this is worth it. I'm gonna tell my daycare I'm gonna be a half hour late, folks. I'm gonna get a bonus half hour out of me. Okay, I need one more half hour.
As we all saw in the photos and the video, and as the president has described, a second assassination attempt on his life. What happened just...
Let's pull away from local news. We're with the confirmation of the death, we're switching to a more national perspective.
Okay.
Few minutes. Like the first question had just finished. It was kind of a longer question, so they had maybe done that for 10 or so minutes, and they had just gotten into the second question, I believe, and that's when I heard like a huge pop. Whenever I hear sounds like that, you know, first I think, okay, maybe it's
right
just...
now the biggest live stream on YouTube
Yeah,
is
John
Megyn
Axel.
Kelly.
10 years.
John Axel.
Counting or not counting gang violence, asked Charlie. And that's when he was shot. We have the SOT. We're gonna play it. We are not going to show
Oh my God! Emily from Breaking Points is doing Megyn Kelly's show. That's so embarrassing. She's such an embarrassing person. This Emily person. She's still a Republican. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, God damn it.
Real statistics in favor of low IQ rhetoric to...
Hold on. I'm going to back this up a bit. I want to hear what she said.
Ignoring...
was fired. No idea whether this...
Yeah, he went out how he lived, ignoring real statistics in favor of low IQ rhetoric to mobilize people towards hatred against marginalized communities.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. Literally, like his last words
His
on
last
Earth
words
were trans people, also black people gangs. Like that was literally like the last shit he went out as he lived.
Yeah.
Is related to the trans issue, but it's one of the many that Charlie's
the trans question, some might call it.
He died for the
leading
fascism.
on and very outspoken on,
on,
and it's something that was near and dear to his heart, and we have seen it too much, as he put it, too many trans activists turn violent.
It's
we're already on this. We don't even have a suspect.
Emily, really, Emily, really. Oh my God, she's officially on my shit list. She's officially on the fucking shit list. Really, we're gonna go along with this? You know nothing about the shooter. Nothing. No, Emily, you disgust me. You and fucking Breaking Points, the whole crew. Crystal, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck off this slop house bullshit network. What the fuck is this?
The reality of the shooting happening exactly after that.
Right. So that's what you're going to go with, Doc? Really? Yeah. Okay. I don't really see a reason to talk to you. I really don't. Bye-bye. That's what we're going to go with, right? Because that's what it doesn't matter what the question is. It doesn't matter what happened. It's the left. We got to do something about the left. We don't know anything. And this is a perfect example. We literally know nothing about the person that did this. Apparently, they're still on the run. Left, right. We don't know shit. It's the left. It's the left. It's trans. It's trans. It's trans. It's trans. We know what the agenda is. We know what the fucking agenda is.
The reality of...
We're already on this.
Wow.
The reality of the shooting happening exactly after that exchange is beyond chilling. And again, just absorbing this in real time.
He was spreading hate about trans people, and he was assassinated by we don't know who. And this is somehow a negative on trans people? How the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? If I stub my toe on the way to the shower, is it a trans person's fault? What the fuck is going on here?
This is what
hysteria.
People, it's easy for us to get numb to this because it was always there for us. But imagine, you know, it was always there. We grew with the technology. Like the technology's been around.
You're terrible.
And it's grown. We've seen it grow. But if you're Gen Z, if you're Gen Alpha, and you've been scrolling your phone, seeing this guy, larger than life figure, like Charlie Kirk, larger than life figure, you know, arguing, mixing it up. He was supposed to be speaking with
I could
Hassan
probably get a
Piker at
number
an
for you.
event in, several weeks on the left. And you've been seeing this on your phone for years. And then you see a video of him being sniped on a college campus after an exchange, the likes of which
gun
you have
regulation,
seen just
right?
about every single day on your TikTok
Gun regulation,
and on your Twitter.
right?
This
There are probably
injects a
going to
new
be
tone
people
of,
who unironically believe that, by the way.
a new tone of violence, and it's just this raw violence that, again, I just don't think anybody is prepared for what this is doing to the young minds who are absorbing this today.
Mm-hmm. Are you advocating for the censorship of this content as some kind of solution? What are you even saying? She doesn't even know what she wants to say. She doesn't know where she wants to even, you know. She's so pathetic, dude. She's pathetic.
Very young.
Very young. And I mean, this is one of those moments where how often is it that, you know, there's Butler, of course, but a single shot, I don't even want to talk in the sort of callous detail, but a single shot from 200 yards back, that feels like a 1960s style execution. And it's one that we all just witnessed. If you were lucky enough to not have clicked on that video yet, I imagine you might be in the minority of people who were absorbing this news in real time online.
We're doing the JFK comparison?
What the hell is going on here?
But
Country just saw this.
What the hell is this?
I was holding it together okay until I saw that.
Is this sophistry? Is that the right word?
It was just,
Woke
there was
patriot?
no way.
Sophistry?
There's
right?
just no way.
Meaningless, pointless.
Any human could survive it. But, you know, I was encouraged by the reports that he was at least in critical. He had apparently made it to the hospital, or at least, I mean, he must have, for them to be saying he was in critical. I don't know. We're just getting this in now here. Here's more. New York Times, search activity is continuing at Utah Valley University, where several groups of armed and outfitted agents can be.
Yeah, we still don't have a suspect even.
Okay, thank you, Woke Patriot. This is sophistry.
Moment of prayer and silence in the House.
There have been calls from both sides of the aisle to do something to tone down the rhetoric in this country.
The kids?
There are some of the images from the House floor.
What about the fucking kids, man? Moment of silence for this right-wing radical.
He wasn't sure about his positions up until
holy
this
shit!
point,
Look at the thumbnail, folks. Look at the thumbnail of this video right here. He's scrolling through. That's the up close video that I'm talking about right there. No, but this is a different one. He's in a blue shirt because the other one he's in a white shirt. So somewhere there's a shot that looks just like this, perfectly framed, high res, well lit, of him getting fucking blunked on, dude. Yikes.
And we're even hearing from former Vice President Kamala Harris, who obviously was in a very
they're gonna like wear T-shirts and shit.
President Trump leading up to the most recent election. Charlie Kirk obviously
was
working to help get President Trump back into the White House.
They're turning his ass into grift
the former Vice President saying, "I'm deeply disturbed by the shooting in Utah.
In a way,
Doug and I send our
rhetorically.
prayers. Let me be clear. Political violence has no place in America. I condemn this act, and we must all work together to ensure this does not lead."
Well, is that what Kamala Harris had to say? She said she's done with politics. Don't pick up the phone, woman. You have nothing to do with the fucking conversation anymore. Go back to living your opulent millionaire life.
Once again, calls from both sides of the aisle to calm down the rhetoric in this country. We're going to have much more on Charlie Kirk, the horrific event as it played out in Utah today.
Damn.
I'll see you for World News tonight. For many of you, your local news is next.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
And our breaking news coverage continues now.
This could turn TPUSA into a much more radical organization, right? Wow, hair on fucking point.
Moments ago from the president, who wrote on social media, the great, even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood
German
or had the
cow.
heart
I mean,
of
that's
the
what they're,
youth
you know,
in the
calm
United
down the
States of
rhetoric. Get in the
America
van.
Better
Calm the
than
rhetoric
Charlie.
down,
He was
Lefty.
loved
Get in the
and admired
van.
by all, especially me. And now
Maybe
he is no
national news
longer
really
with
is
us.
just across the board worse than local news.
Playing out something that they thought about when they were doing big events, and now a rethinking of what that security footprint will look like. Ben Shapiro, we understand, has canceled an event he had tomorrow in California.
God damn it.
His team certainly
We
rethinking
didn't
how
need
they move
this.
forward.
We didn't need
with big
this
public
shit,
events.
okay?
Okay, Chris Van Cleve outside.
We should be talking about Zoran. We should be talking about this Graham guy. We should be talking about how shitty the midterms is going to be looking for the Republicans, and even though if they try to steal it, it's going to be difficult for them. Okay, now, of course, and they're going to mutate this into lefties are violent. We got to do something about leftists, radical leftists. And what do we get? We're going to fight it. We're going to try to fight it. I'm going to tooth and nail, do everything I can to push back on it. And those like, no, this is the violence that we're talking about. This is why we want to regulate. This is why we want to have the government intervene. God damn it. You know, the society is getting more and more violent. We're worried about this. Yeah, and there it is. There it is. Right fucking there. Right? We literally don't know the motivations of the shooter, but it's already the loony left. And yeah, I'm going to ban you immediately for spreading that fucking nonsense. Absolutely. Get the fuck out of here. The loony left, the loony. I don't know anything about, no one knows anything about the shooter, but I do know he was a left-winger that loved Antifa and hated, and he had TDS. We got to make TDS illegal. We got to make sure, we got to tell RFK to make a TDS a medical condition and then tell ICE to go after people with TDS. How do we know people have TDS? If they criticize Trump. Are we really going to let that shit play out like this? Is that really how we're going to fucking roll? And let these mediocre, portly ass, fat fucking Republicans, ICE agents, throw us in the back of a van and what? To a work camp or what? Another country? You're going to dump me in a fucking, what, Uganda? Like you're trying to do with Abrego Garcia?
Individuals through warrants at the individual's property, reviewing their social media, talking to friends and family, and
yeah,
then, if
we getting a
necessary,
state funeral?
employing a range of
Dundee over
federal,
here with the
state,
fucking
and local
nuclear
law enforcement
burns.
assets to try to track the individual if that individual is at large.
No,
What
this
we
is
don't
bad
yet
news,
know
man.
is whether there still
and
is
like
an
it looks like it to me. It already looks like the right have solidified on the message, right? Do you notice how we didn't have any right wingers at first for like the first hour, and then after that first hour, in come the right wingers, and what's the narrative? Because they were waiting for the narrative to hear it on social media. Oh, that's the narrative repeating? Yeah, left violence, lefty violence. We're just barreling through. We're ignoring the identity of the shooter. Old man, mystery, doesn't matter. We're just barreling through. That's the narrative, huh? Left or violent, the left are violent. We got to do something about leftist violence. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Executive order. Saying TDS is a crime or some shit, dude. I think they think they have a really good in with the TDS shit, right? Just say it's like, being vociferously against fascism is a mental illness, and then start arresting people for their own good.
there to try to capture footage.
You're gonna put my ass in a fucking camp, man.
Okay, Sam Vinograd, thank you for that. Our senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
We don't know who shot him.
Now, reaction is pouring in.
We don't know who shot him. I need to stress that.
It is, Maurice, and importantly, it's pouring in from across.
We do not know who shot Charlie Kirk. We have no idea.
The Reports for
it seems like he's not even a good shot. I guarantee you he was aiming for the head, and he hit the neck.
Democrats. We heard Chris Van Cleve there mention the governor of Arizona, Katie Hobbs. California Governor Gavin Newsom was one of the first notable Democrats to weigh in on this, saying that the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting.
B-Ree, I have to respectfully ask you to tone down the language. Sorry. Okay, let's tone down the language.
Weighing in.
But like it's very obvious to me that it was an attempted headshot that you know. It's like, because hitting something accurately at 5 feet is actually difficult if you've ever fired a weapon. So hitting something at 200 feet, which is what they're guessing right now, is it takes a good amount of skill.
Trump campaign quite effectively.
So I think we're dealing with an amateur.
Engaged and galvanized younger,
elevation,
more
all that
digitally
shit.
focused voters.
So I think we're dealing with an amateur.
And
it's worth noting that for the most part, Charlie Kirk's project to radicalize younger people into being Republicans was mostly a failure. TPUSA was popular with the oldies, but young people who get into being right-wing don't usually do so because of Charlie Kirk. This is a Utah university.
I don't know. I think Vosh is incorrect here, because I think TPUSA was actually one of the more effective organizations converting young people into fascism. But I think the numbers should, if I saw the numbers in front of me, like, okay, how many members, how young are they, right? Because I mean, we the news was able to find a couple young people who were like, I love Charlie Kirk. He's the bomb diggity, based. But I don't know. I would need to see the numbers. But I'm hesitant to be so flippant as Vosh is here about the effectiveness of TPUSA. And like I said, I'm worried about TPUSA now turning into some kind of what is TPUSA is nothing without Charlie Kirk. So it either folds up and disappears, or it I don't know, mutates into something I fear more radical. Guess we'll have to wait and see.
A lot of the students here would have been right-wing regardless. They would have been right-wing under Bush. They would have been
200 yards, not feet, but that makes your point more. Yeah, that's even farther, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not an expert. It could have been, maybe he hit dead center exactly where he wanted to hit, and he wanted to see him bleed. But it seems to me like, that would be like, you'd go for the head, right? But I don't know. I'm not an assassin. I don't know.
Wing under anyone, Charlie Kirk is considered kind of
you're
cringe
too
for that
literally talking about gun violence. You're doing the right wing equivalent. The lies about gun violence. Yeah, now he's a fucking martyr, dude. It's not good.
Graphic, I think.
It's not good.
The young people were gotten by Gamergate. I got bad news for you, buddy. Okay, Gamergate happened so far back ago that the people who were politically radicalized by it aren't really even the young demographic anymore.
Oh fuck, he's kind of right there. Yeah, that's how old Gamergate is.
They're at the very least like mid-20s.
Sure, Tisrael.
Asked colleagues to rise.
Yeah, the neck very well could have been the intended target, Tisrael. Yeah, that's true.
Do so. It sounds like there may have been some in the chamber, unclear who and where, who tried to interrupt that silence. I don't know if we can play this.
Really?
Charlie Kirk and his family.
No, Goose, it's not a good thing. Are you just going from stream to stream to see if you can weaponize the reporting feature on streamers to see if you can get them to admit for advocating political violence? Is that what you're trying to do? Welcome back, Davey. Salty bread is good. Yep, that's my stance. I don't agree with political violence.
So that was earlier.
Charlie Kirk was a hardworking fascist, and he was attempting to dismantle America. That still doesn't make his assassination a good thing. So that's what we're dealing with here.
In the House chambers.
And yeah, the children who are inherently innocent don't deserve to have their father murdered. No doubt about it.
Johnson very quickly ran
no
there
updates.
to...
The shooter apparently still at large. Latest update, of course, is that he's confirmed dead. Yeah, no, it was very graphic. I watched it. We obviously couldn't watch it on stream, but we watched the links there, and I was not expecting to be watching a snuff film today, but there you go. I've seen far worse though, of course. Once you've seen torture footage and things of the like, it's kind of hard to phase you. So, but That was a pretty fucking graphic video, no doubt about it. That's what happens when you hit the artery right there. Nasty shit.
Very public assassination. Like we have very few modern.
It's very interesting seeing the right wingers in here. Just like, are you a robot? You know, the robots, you know, I don't know what side you are, but violence is bad and violence is bad. And, you know, I got to keep reiterating. I got to keep repeating. Right. Because why? Because they want to weaponize the reporting feature. They want to they're trying to gotcha. They're literally fishing right now. These right wingers, when they come in and they make these statements, they're fishing. They're trying to find people that are like, yeah, you know, I'm not even going to say it because I'll be clipped out of context, right? But like, I'm not even going to pretend to say it, but that's what they're looking for. They're fishing for people so they can get them banned. Davey, I mean, you got any links for us? I'd love to see anything. I don't know. I got nothing.
Spoken with CBS News. They're
stuff
going
we saw, he was an old
now
guy
on campus to help evacuate anybody who's there. They want everybody off this campus. And if you are doing
UNTV, that's unfortunately true.
People and walk them off the campus. That's indicative of a kinetic threat of something that is not fully settled at this point. But we're going to keep tapping into FBI sources here to get some set of.
It's very ironic that a South African would say that they're not affected by the United States, right? About news in the United States. South Africa is 100% affected by Donald Trump being in office, having control, by this right-wing movement being in control. South Africa is 100% affected by the Trump administration. 100%.
Fortunately, you know, we live in very partisan times. The bubble that they exist in.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
so no, we've already seen this.
Charlie was.
So we've already seen this and discussed.
We don't know if it's him or not.
So that literally in the video, the guy is like, we don't know if that's the guy. We don't know if that's the guy. And he's saying, shoot me. I think, dude, homie's having a emotional breakdown. And he's like, you know, shoot me instead. Shoot me instead. I think that's what's going on. I think this is just a misunderstanding here. I think the shooter's still at large.
Shoot me.
Yeah, the meme section is where you can put your fresh memes. Please don't put any gore in there, please.
Shoot me. Was that you? We don't know if it's him or not.
Yeah, I think someone's just, you know, I think this is just a mix-up. I'll practice my right to remain silent. Probably a good idea, dude. Probably a good idea. These fucking idiots. These absolute morons. Well, you did it. You did it, buddy. Go get him.
You disgrace those garbage.
Hey, let him in.
You disgrace those garbage. You knocked off.
Hey, leave it.
All right. Yeah.
Shoot me. Shoot me. Was that you? We don't know if it's him or not.
Okay, so the cop saying, literally the cop saying, that's the cop saying, we don't know if it's this guy. Calm down, we don't know. Okay, whatever. We don't need to see that again. Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, who, by the way, wants to increase gun violence in America. You know, Mike Johnson, who couldn't vote fast enough for America to be more violent, couldn't vote fast enough on a cut to health care that would provide even less mental health services for Americans. Mike Johnson. You know, we can't allow this tragedy. We can't allow this tragedy to cloak who these people are, what they believe in, what they're actively doing. They're in charge. And what do we see them doing? Dismantling, destroying, defunding. And the problem couldn't be more glaring. Obviously. Problem right in front of our face, right in front of the cameras. Dude gets murked, man. It's a serious problem.
Nazi? It's crazy.
Approached every day with a certain...
But, you know, someone who was a provocateur, who did it with a certain amount of joy, right?
Well, look, I think that
there are so many synonyms out there for race baiting neo-Nazi.
Live
It's
by
crazy.
the sword, die by the sword.
Approached every day with a certain amount of joy, and it was great to be able to work with him, to do events with him, to spend time with him. You know, he was a very intense, very loyal person. He was very demanding.
He was an incredibly dishonest, effective, partisan propagandist for the fascistic administration. Yeah. And hardworking, no doubt. And he was incredibly hardworking. As said in the famous put in the work like Charlie Kirk. I gotta come up with something else now, folks.
Charlie.
Okay, thank you so much, former RNC Chair Michael Whatley. We appreciate your remembrances there.
Never.
Reaction coming in from Governor Wes Moore, Democrat of Maryland. I condemn in strongest possible terms the attack. You know, you see this kind of reaction from Republicans as well. Tom Tillis, the senator, praying for Charlie Kirk. Political violence has no place in our society. So I bring in our chief Washington analyst, Robert Costa. You're hearing the condemnations far and wide. Yet here we are once again, Bob.
Not good.
Here we are once again. The specter of violence continuing to hover over the United States and our political culture.
That's not a specter.
Leaders in both parties expressing horror at what is unfolding here on a college campus today, a time when so many students are going back
to school. According to someone in the chat, that there is no, you can open carry, you know, there's very lax gun laws in Utah.
Country has seen it many times before. You think about President Lincoln. You think about the shots fired on President Reagan. Of course, President Kennedy being gunned down in 1963, and other political figures have been shot.
Yeah,
you think about George Wallace running for president being shot. He survived. Charlie Kirk, at such a young age, being gunned down, assassinated at a political event. Within the past decade or so.
Is that really what his last word was? Violence? Yeah, I can't help but point out that his last words were lying to support disseminating more guns, right? Telling lies bigoted lies, apparently, probably bigoted lies about how black people and trans people are the source of violence. And then gun violence kills him, man. Yeah, I often say irony is dead, but it looks like irony is fucking back, dude.
Gabby Giffords, the former member of Congress.
I want to shift over to NBC.
A shell casing or a weapon that was left behind, or video that person was there. We've been showing videos throughout the afternoon here, Tom, of this incident.
Gun violence from a mentally ill person.
We
can all say that he was mentally ill. I know that.
Incident, certainly that involves a fatality. We don't show that moment of the
I don't feel like
shot
I'm out on a limb
just out of
saying
respect
that.
for the individual, but also, you know, these things tend to inflame and incite these types of incidents in the future, and certainly don't want to contribute to what the shooter tried to do this afternoon.
Is this super quiet for everyone else?
The incident, as we saw the video of the.
So I've I've already expressed my views, but quite simply, it's that we should start right away with the banning of assault weapons, and proceed with banning pistols and shotguns and other things as society gets more safe. Obviously, we should reduce the amount of bullet capacity per magazine for pistols and shotguns. But I'm not comfortable asking people to completely disarm themselves while society is in a full-blown mental health crisis, and you're asking to get stabbed on the bus for no fucking reason. I saw a video yesterday, a jewelry store owner, 88-year-old jewelry store owner, didn't have a gun, got walked all over, got his whole store broken into, and we need to immediately start with the regulation and removal of assault weapons. But unless we do something about the mental health crisis, I don't see how removing the guns is going to do anything but make us more vulnerable to the fucking psychopaths, desperate, broke, uneducated psychopaths that do roam our fucking country because our country doesn't take care of anybody.
Generally speaking, those are not covered by security agents who are down close to the stage that he's on. So if that's so, we have an assassin because this man was assassinated today. We have a shooter out there that we have to bring in. And a lot of resources
still at
go into
large?
that right
That's
now.
wild.
But the fact that they say there's no threat to the public is incongruent.
Yeah,
to that.
Ponder Monkey.
So I don't know where
I
got to
get going in a couple minutes.
I hope they have him identified and they're searching for him. That's my hope right now.
Okay, look, if my kid is asleep, okay, when I get back, I will fire up the stream again. But you might not see me until tomorrow. But I'll definitely we'll have to cover this and do a follow-up tomorrow, no doubt about it.
So critical to finding out that information, and that'll be potentially helpful here.
Well, he was shouting, "Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me." So that's why they grabbed him. The crowd was probably about to kick his ass.
You know, yesterday I was at a gathering of law enforcement experts and officials as part of
Once again,
9/11.
God, every time. We got to do this every time with every ignorant son of a bitch repeating the same fucking dry, crusty-ass talking points. We know gun regulation works because we see it work in other countries. Stop the fucking ignorance. I don't know anything about the shooter or the firearm. Seems like everything we know is lies and incorrect. But stop the fucking madness already. We know gun regulation works because it works in other countries. Yeah, no, I'm going to take your assault weapon. Yes, get over it. I don't want your pistol. I don't want your shotgun, but I'm going to do everything I can politically to take your fucking assault weapon. Get over it.
Or catch somebody that they allege to be the shooter.
You don't get special
right
permission.
Now, basically everyone
Australia is the model
of Hillary Clinton on social media is gleefully celebrating this. Because
Australia
of course,
is
again,
the model.
Charlie Kirk is a death monger, somebody who wants hatred, wants, suffering.
Yes.
A person who wants
Vosh
to
is
inflict
correct
misery
here.
on the world and profits from it enormously.
Yes.
So that's not necessarily like undeserved, that response. At some point, the right-wing message is going to shift from, sadness or, so on mourning, to
revenge,
gleeful calls to violence.
Yeah.
And I wonder when that's going to happen.
It's literally,
aftermath.
We're almost there in the chat.
Here is the video that we're talking.
We're almost there in the fucking chat already with the fucking bad actors coming in here, right? We're almost calls to straight up violence against the left. They're setting it up. Oh, the left. Oh, they got to watch out about the left. The left crazy. Left is insane, huh? Left really wild.
Of places that they need
already
to
have. They don't know anything.
Authorities seem desperate. Local mayor urges people to report anything suspicious as shooting suspect remains at large. Mayor David Young of the north central Utah city of Orem says several local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies are working the investigation while the suspect in Kirk's fatal shooting remains at large. Again, this country is going to lose its fucking mind if we never get a definite suspect.
Especially confusion because we got
if we don't get a
suspect
yes,
was in custody. In fact, police did arrest a man.
If we don't get a definitive suspect, but we're not even close to there, folks, okay? It is incredibly difficult to do something like this. It's not impossible, but it is tough. You got to be a real pro to pull something like this public off and get away squeaky clean. People who ask that are almost exclusively right wing. You know what? You can both go. You can both go. I'm a Democratic progressive, motherfuckers. I'm a Democratic progressive. Get the fuck out of here. You can go. Bye. And you, I'm just going to time you out. I fucking hate that question so much. I'm a Democratic progressive, if you must know. Are you left or right? Am I in an echo chamber? You have a beard. I'm confused. You have a beard. Are you left or right? Because obviously I want you to be right-wing and repeat right-wing talking points to me. That's why I'm here. Can you just tell me right away so I'm not wasting my time? Am I going to get right-wing talking points here or not?
Open field that we were just looking at.
Bye.
So while there was chaos, then police stepped in to...
Hello from Russia? How about fuck Russia?
That also suggests that there is not necessarily a neutralized threat.
How about get the fuck out of Ukraine?
But it appears that
Javik.
there could be a suspect still at large as we are speaking right now.
How about that one?
And that is very startling news indeed, Anna, but it's important
How about get the fuck out of Ukraine?
That this is an evolving ongoing law enforcement situation in that community, and we will.
How about you do me a favor and get the fuck out of Ukraine, buddy?
Anything else on that front, you can let us know. We'll come.
Yeah, you just learned that, John Axel? Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Christian Overton joins me now. He was a witness to the shooting.
Okay,
Christian,
Hazel,
I'm very
whatever.
Sorry. You saw what you saw. You experienced what you experienced.
Right. Okay.
I'm appreciative.
You know, this is my absolutely most satisfying flush of the day right here. Here we go. We're gonna probably do a triple flush on this one. How about you get the fuck out of Russia? How about Russia gets the fuck out of Ukraine, huh? Oh, there we go. How about Russia gets the fuck out of Ukraine? Huh? Yeah, and stop attacking Poland while we're at it. Yeah, I should be covering that. All right, I seriously need to fucking go, dude. I'm abandoning my son for this. All right. If you're lucky, he will be asleep. If you're not lucky, he won't be asleep. You need a water-saving toilet? No. Full flush. Full flush. Hello from Russia. How about no? Remember the connect to the gents like Nick Fuentes. Yeah. You a weird looking piece of shit. Well, that's true. Okay, look. Sometimes they get you, man. Sometimes they nail you, man. I can't say nothing to that. They got me. All right, that's absolutely wild. Covered it live. Thought I was going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein today. We talked about a political assassination instead. Once again, happens live. So many things have happened live on the News Underground. I wasn't able to cover January 6th, like the beginning of it, but I covered it live as soon as I got home around 5 o'clock. The invasion of Ukraine happened live on the News Underground. I was watching the UN Security Council meeting when Russia was rolling tanks across the border into Ukraine. Happened live. So many historic events happening here on the News Underground. And Charlie Kirk assassinated. I am in shock. Once again, like it needs to be said, we don't advocate for political violence here. It's counterproductive. We do advocate for dissent. We do advocate for nonviolent, direct political action. Steps 1, 2, 3, we inform ourselves. Step 1. Step 2, we sign up and show up. And step 3, we put in the work like somebody we used to know. It doesn't change who Charlie Kirk was. It doesn't change what Charlie Kirk believed in. He literally, like his last words were spreading bigotry and lies. Once again, though, we need to reiterate that it's they're gonna do it anyway. That's the thing, right? We know they're going for it. And honestly, I think, after this, we might honestly see TDS, quote unquote TDS, being reclassified as a legitimate mental health issue. Ludicrous, right? Totally ludicrous. But I think we might see something along those lines. Maybe if only to just justify the arresting the people that are recording ICE, the people who are getting in the way and standing around screaming at ICE, just arresting those, white citizens. Maybe just at first, just those people. But I really wouldn't be surprised. This is ghoulishly, this is a opportunity for an authoritarian government to expand its authoritarianism, and Donald Trump has shown interest in doing that, right? So, yeah, we didn't start the fire. What more do we have to say? But, Donald Trump is interested in a fascist authoritarian government. This is kind of a golden opportunity. This is a gift for authoritarian governments to weaponize. The right wing seemingly have already, laser beamed on the narrative. So what do? We got to defend ourselves as leftists. and say, well, no, actually, this is the violence we're very worried about. This is why we talk about regulation. This is why we talk about mental health and funding mental health and funding these things instead of supporting politicians that cut these programs and deregulate guns. I can't think of any other. If you got a better response, if you have a better, idea to fight this, because we need to continue to march in the streets. We need to continue to show dissent. We need to continue to push back against ICE. We need to continue to push back against, stealing elections and defend our elections, honest elections. We can't stop doing that, right? We can't stop fighting back. But we also are going to need to defend ourselves from these baseless claims that the left is more violent than the right. See? Right there. There's a right-winger dishonestly. So what am I saying? I'm saying we need to defend ourselves rhetorically against this accusation that the left is more violent. And then what do we have? Someone in the chat. That sounds like you're being violent. Sounds pretty violent to me. Loading a weapon, getting ready. Intentional, woke patriot, intentional misinterpretation. Right? So thank you very much, asshole, for literally making my point for me. Right? That this is what we're up against. They're immediately twisting, immediately trying to steer the zeitgeist. Right now, thousands of losers online tapping away at the keyboard. Lefties, it's the lefties, it's the lefties. It's the lefties, it's the lefties, it's the lefties. Maybe you took it out of context. Maybe you did. Just asking questions, right? But we can't stop fighting for our liberty, for our democracy, for our freedoms that are definitely under assault and continue to be under assault. We cannot stop that fight because of this tragedy. So we need to be able to defend ourselves rhetorically from these baseless claims that we're somehow more violent. We know damn well that we're not. And there it is. See, once again, thank you so much. I mean, these people literally making my point for me. Literally. Oh, no, you're more mentally ill. It doesn't matter that, of course, the statistics show right-wingers, of course, commit more mass shootings. Doesn't matter. Reality doesn't matter. They are weaving reality. They're kind of learning from their God Emperor Trump, right? So for free, this person, clips, running around the internet for free, spreading lies and misinformation for free. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So look, you got to defend yourself. You got to defend yourself rhetorically from the bad actors who are absolutely at this very moment, as you can see, we got two of them in here. Twisting the narrative, directing the narrative, right? So the left is against free speech. The left is mentally ill. The left is violent. He wasn't being genuine, Ponder Monkey. He wasn't being genuine. And if you were being genuine, please message me. Maybe I'll unban you. No, it is a tragedy when someone is murdered. If anything, Charlie Kirk should have been investigated for collusion with Russia, right? He should have been investigated for treason. He should have been investigated for seditious activity against the Republic. Okay, and maybe convicted for his crimes against democracy. But he absolutely did not deserve to be shot like a fucking diseased dog in the streets, dude. We're better than that. The left is better than that. And what are they doing right now? They're working overtime to say, no, the left isn't better than that. In fact, the left is worse. And if we don't preemptively eradicate the left, we're in danger. This is all justified. So we all do. It's obvious what direction. I'm not going to get into this. Oh, I was mocking it. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ponder Monkey. Okay, sorry. I didn't see that. Right, but we all got mental health. We can't be, isolating the left or the right here. Like, we need help for everybody, right? And that's what the left advocates. The right absolutely does not advocate for, taxing billionaires to pay for a multi-$100 billion mental health, positivity campaign along with free therapy for every American in the fucking country. Okay? The right isn't even talking. The right is talking about cutting any services that look even remotely like that, calling them communist. Meanwhile, the left is, desperately advocating for anything that's even remotely similar to that, right? We know where we stand. We know what's morally correct. But we got to get out there and defend it now even harder. They don't even know the identity of the shooter, and it's already the left wing, the left wing, the left wing. This is intentional. This is intentional. Okay? This is intentional. I'm just telling you, the strong, proud, leftist, whatever flavor, stand up for yourself, continue to fight, and do not let this tragedy slow down our resistance to overt fascism. We have no choice. We have to meet this head on. We have no choice. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Glory to the Ukrainian democracy. And for the love of God, fight against, do everything you can to push back against gun anarchy. Storms, I agree. I'm kind of leaning on I think this guy was a right winger, right? Like the guy who tried to assassinate Trump. So I agree. It's Storms. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East, y'all. I gotta go pick up my kid.